We get a story of these anime kids that go completely insane and try and like fight the subscriber with these really weird things. I don't want to spoil the story. I know you'll enjoy it. Subscribe if you like stories, and let's call today's subscriber, let's call him Clarence. And right off the bat, I just gotta let you know that like if you like anime, literally nothing wrong with that. In fact, I enjoy a little bit of anime myself. I mean, you got yourself some Death Note, some Attack on Titan. No spoilers, I've not finished the last couple episodes. I will ban you from my comments forever. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, this all happened one day when Clarence was just chilling in class. And there was a group of 3 kids who always sat in the back of the room, and they always wore like anime t-shirts or sweatshirts or whatever, and they were kind of known as like the anime kids. They were known for this not just because they would always wear like anime t-shirts and sweatshirts or whatever, but they would literally only communicate to each other with anime references. And one of them sat like L from Death Note, just little, which I don't know, that's just funny to me, man. I've tried sitting like that. It hurts, bro. I was like, oh, dude, I guess is this gonna give me 50% more brain power like L? No, it just makes my feet hurt. But anyways, right, Clarence didn't really interact with them that much. They kind of stuck to themselves. However, on one fateful day, when Clarence was walking in the halls and he accidentally bumps into one of them, and then the other 2, all 3 of them, the one he bumped into and the other 2 that were walking with him, right, they all turn and look at Clarence. And they give him this look. And Clarence is like, oh, my fault, like I wasn't looking where I was going. They don't say anything. They just stare at him intensely. And he's like, like, my fault, guys. Like, I'm sorry. That's on me. Like, my bad. Like, why are you staring at me? This is making me uncomfortable. And the anime kids didn't say a word. They just kept walking. And Clarence legitimately thought nothing of it because dude just bumped into someone and then said, my fault, I wasn't looking where I was going. And yes, they were a little weird, not responding at all. It was a little creepy. It was a little uncomfortable. But Clarence legitimately, within 5 seconds, completely forgot about what just happened until the next day rolled around. So the next day, right, it's recess, and Clarence is just outside, and his friends, I don't know, they're doing something else right now, or Clarence does have friends, but for some reason, he's just alone at that very moment. And the 3 anime kids come up to Clarence, and remember, Clarence isn't like enemies with these people, or at least he didn't think he was, but he also never spoke to them, so it was kind of weird for them to kind of like just come up to him out of the blue and start talking to him. He was caught off a little bit off guard. And remember, he's completely forgotten about bumping into them until like they start talking to him, right? And they say, like, they come up to him and they're like, so you chose to fight us. You chose to start the battle and we're gonna finish it. And Clarence is like, I think you have me mixed up for someone else, bro. I'm pretty sure I'm not the guy who started this battle that you're talking about. I legitimately have no idea what you're saying. And they're like, no, it was 100% you. You bumped into us, which is a understandable battle cry. And yes, you're a fool for this, though, because we will absolutely smite you in battle. And Clarence is like, oh, no, that was like a mistake. Like, I didn't mean to bump into you. That was an accident. Like, I'm sorry, my fault. And they're like, no, you can't take back your declaration of battle. This battle was started by you, but will be finished by us. And one of the kids, the one who sits like L from Death Note, like kind of like reaches out of his backpack, and Clarence is like, hey, yo. And what he reaches out of his backpack was a black notebook. And on the front of the notebook says Death Note on it. If you don't know, there's like an anime Death Note where basically, I'm not going to spoil anything too important, but the main thing is there's a book, and if you write someone's name in it and like what they died from, like the person will die within like 40 seconds or something. I might have butchered that a little bit. It's been a second since I watched it. Great show, by the way. But anyways, he whips out like a replica Death Note, and the other 2 anime kids are like, you don't want him to write your name in this book. And Clarence has never seen Death Note before. He was explained the premise by his friend afterward when he told his friend about this story. But basically, right, one of the anime kids whips out a fake Death Note, and he's just like, you don't want me to do this, bro. You don't want me to do this. And Clarence is like, do what? He's like, write your name in the Death Note. And Clarence is like, bro, what? I don't know what that is. This is like a book or something. He's like, no, it's not just a book, you idiot, you fool, you simpleton, you moron. If I write your name in the Death Note, you will perish. And Clarence is like, what? And Clarence is just like, all right, bro, write my name in that silly book. He's like, haha, you fool. And so the anime kid writes Clarence's name in the book. And he waits 40 seconds and he's grinning the whole time. And then 40 seconds passes and nothing happens. And he's like, Ryuk must have just nerfed this one. The other anime kids kind of look at him. And then they look back at Clarence and they're like, you might have won this battle. But this is not simply a battle. This is a war. And we're coming back tomorrow with even more weapons and powerful. You will lose. And then they all kind of like Naruto dash away. And Clarence is like, man, why is this my life? Like, why am I here? Just to suffer. Real quick, comment anime down below if you want to heart in your comment. The secret word of the day is anime. And if you binge watch my videos, please let me know in the comment section. That's the best way to help me, to grow the channel is by watching a ton of videos. Playlists are in the description to help you watch the videos easier. And yeah, back to the story. But anyways, right, Clarence is kind of just like, oh, so this is going to be like a thing. Because Clarence is this, he's hanging on to the words where the anime kids were like, oh, we're coming back tomorrow with even more. And Clarence in his head is like, bro, I don't want to have to deal with you guys tomorrow as well. Like, isn't today enough? Like, isn't like you writing my name in that book and then nothing happening? Isn't that enough for all this nonsense? But no, the days just get stranger and stranger because the next day rolls around. And once again, it is recess. And this time, Clarence is with one of his friends. And he notices out of the corner of his eye, the anime kids are rolling up. And he's just thinking to himself, like, bro, I'm not trying to do this right now. I'm hanging out with my friend. I'm having a good time. This is recess. This is supposed to be my break from the nonsense. This is not supposed to be the nonsense, ×2 extended edition. Like, I'm not trying to do this. And the anime kids come up to him and they're like, ha, you might have won yesterday's battle, but you will never win the war. And then all three of them whip out these fake plastic Pokeballs. And at this point, Clarence is like, bro, you cannot be serious. And they're like, oh, so you know what we're about to attack you with. And one of them yells, Charizard attack! And they just chuck the plastic Pokeball at Clarence, and it hits him. And look, it's not like actually like, okay, ooh, yeah, duh, Connor, it's not a real Pokeball, shut up, right? But it's like, it's plastic, it's hard. And it kind of hurt a little bit. And Clarence is like, ow. By the way, a massive real-life Charizard did not come out of the Pokeball they threw. It just kind of bounced off Clarence, and it hurt a little bit. So Clarence is like, bro, don't do that. That kind of hurts. And then the other one's like, Bulbasaur, attack! And just chucks the Pokeball again. And Clarence is like, dude, stop. That hurts. It's going to leave a bruise. And the final one's like, Pikachu, I choose you. And just chucks the Pokeball. Once again, bounces off of Clarence. And he's just like, bro, can you not? And then another one takes out another Pokeball. Actually, it's the first one. And he's like, Blastoise. And he chucks it and just completely misses Clarence. He's like, bro, I'm going somewhere else. Like, screw you guys, I'm going home. So him and Clarence and his friend, like, they just walk away, and his friend's like, bro, what? So Clarence explains the story as I've explained it to you guys so far, and his friend is like, bro, that's so weird, like, I'm sorry you have to deal with this. That must be pretty annoying. So the next day rolls around, and this is like the craziest day yet. So once again, Clarence is at recess, and he's with a pretty big group of people. He doesn't know all of them super well, but, he knows enough of them well enough that, I don't know, they're doing some big activity or whatever. And once again, the anime kids come over. And Clarence is like, guys, I'm sorry, I have to deal with something. So he walks over preemptively, goes over to the anime kids and is like, what is it today? What's the massive battle? And this time, right, the last 2 days, there was a teacher, like, monitoring everyone at recess, but they were kind of busy looking at other things or something. But this time, the teacher happened to be looking at the anime kids and Clarence. And one of the anime kids is like, today, we will have our final battle. And he whips out this big, long sash, right? And Clarence is like, dude, what? And he unsheaths a katana from it. And Clarence is like, yo, you can't have that here. And the anime kid starts swinging his sword around, all like, he's like, you cannot control my power. My power level is over 25,000 right now. He's like, takes out his like katana, starts, and the teacher runs, and the teacher, like, sees this, sees a kid with a massive sword, and the teacher's like, no, oh my God, like, this is actually insane. So the teacher calls the freaking police, bro, because, I mean, look, you can't bring something like that to school. The teacher both calls the police, tells the security guard, and the school goes on lockdown. So basically, after that happens, like, there's something on the loudspeaker saying, students report to, like, your classrooms, this is a lockdown. And, like, all the students start, like, running to the classrooms. And Clarence has a sneaking suspicion that the lockdown is due to the katana anime kid, because you can't bring a freaking katana. By the way, that's a massive, long, like, sword used in combat in, like, the 1600s. You can't bring one, even if it's, like, a replica, right? You can't bring that to school. So sure enough, right, all the kids, they're like rushing to their classes, and yeah, Clarence and the anime kid, they do have one class together, and it happens to be like their next class is after recess. So yeah, they all go to the same classroom to lock down. And dude, the anime kid who has the katana is legitimately sitting in class with his katana, like it's in his like container or whatever. But it's very obvious, right? So they're all like in lockdown. They're all sitting in their classrooms. They're kind of all like sitting in the corner of the room with the shades drawn. I'm sure you guys have at least had like a lockdown drill before. Or maybe if you're not in the States, you haven't. But basically, right, you have to go in your classroom, lock the doors, and just keep everything, like, very still and as if no one is in there, right? So eventually, you know, there's a police officer that comes around unlocking each of the doors and going in and assessing the situation. And the police officer eventually comes to their door, knocks on it, opens it up, and sees, right, the kid with the katana. And the police officer points at the anime kid and says, hey, I'm going to need you to come with me. And the anime kid stands up and he doesn't grab his katana because he's obviously not going to walk over to the police officer with a katana, right? And the police officer's like, points to the other officer, like, go grab that. So the officer kind of like walks over, grabs the katana, and the anime kid is like, no, that is my weapon of choice. And the police officer's like, yeah, that's also the reason why we're doing this. And I don't think the anime kid knew that that was the reason why they were having a lockdown until then. Even Clarence was pretty sure it wasn't because of the anime kid, but he had a sneaking suspicion. So Clarence is like, oh, uh-oh, look at who won the war, bro. Nah, he wasn't like default dancing yet. Just give him a second, though. So eventually, right, you know, the kid walks out and the police officer has a talk with him outside. And Clarence, like, presses his ear against the wall, and the walls of the school are pretty thin, so we can more or less hear what the police officer is saying. So the police officer is explaining to the katana anime kid that, dude, you cannot bring an actual weapon to school. That's insane. Like, look, it's like, yeah, I get it. It might be a replica, but it's still very sharp and it could really be used like super dangerously. And that, like, bro, it's super. Okay, the officer didn't say bro, but like the officer was saying, it's super clear that this is a rule, that you can't be bringing this to school. Why would you think that this is necessary? And the anime kid starts to say, we were about to enter an anime battle or something like that. And the officer said, what, you were going to like use this in combat against another student? And the anime kid was like, well, now that you put it that way, I mean, the anime kid was slowly understanding that he messed up big time. The officer's like, I thought you were just bringing this in just to show it around. You were going to use it in combat against another student? Like, this thing might be a replica. It's still very sharp. You could definitely actually do some damage with this. Do you understand? Do you understand why everyone had to lock down? And the anime kid is like, well, I don't understand why everyone had to lock down. It's not like I was going to use it. And the officer's like, you just said you were going to use it. And the anime kid was like, yeah, but just on one student. And he's like, so you're going to use it on a student? And the anime kid's like, well, everyone doesn't need to lock down if I'm not going to like enter anime combat with them too. And the officer is just completely speechless. So the officer's like, all right, come with me, and kind of motions to the security guard to come with them. And they walk him over to the principal's office, or it's some kind of official place. At this point, Clarence was obviously not in earshot to hear what went down, but TLDR, because he did hear from other people. people and just kind of like figured it out. The anime kid got suspended for 2 weeks, and he was now, after this point, on extremely thin ice. If he even sneezed in the wrong direction, right, he was going to get in big trouble. For some reason, right, the anime kid never said that it was Clarence when he was being, like, interrogated. He refused to say the name of the student that he was fighting to keep the anonymity, and oh my God, you know what I'm trying to say. He's trying to keep, like, I don't want to reveal my fellow soldiers and also my opponent in battle. I have respect for him or whatever. So Clarence never was a part of this. He never was asked in, and he also was kind of lazy, so he didn't feel like getting involved, and the kid was going to get in trouble one way or another. But after the fact, the other 2 anime kids that didn't get in trouble came up to Clarence and they're like, "You think this is over? You think you can vanquish one of our allies and get away with it?" And Clarence is like, "Bro, I literally did nothing. I just stood there and he just self-reported. That's not on me." And they said, no, this is on you. You better watch your back because we will strike again. Vengeance will be ours. And to this day, the subscriber was telling me over on Instagram, which is in the description, that's where you can send in some stories to be featured on the channel. He was telling me that to this day, the anime kids have not, given their revenge yet. So maybe one day they'll have their master plan unfold and Clarence will figure out what the revenge is. But until this day, they are yet to strike. So yeah, you might be seeing a part 2, maybe. I don't know. Click on the video on screen right now. I know you'll enjoy it. Just click it, do it. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today I have a story that my friend told me about where basically his little brother was telling him about this time where basically this kid came into his class and tried to convince everyone that he was Dream. Believe it or not, he wasn't Dream, but it actually turned out to be pretty funny because, the kid really did believe that he could pull it off, but at the end of the day, man, no one was buying it, and it was a pretty good story, so I thought I'd tell it on here. Real quick, make sure you are subscribed to the channel with notifications on. If you don't turn on the notifications, you won't see my story time videos that I try and upload every single day. And also, if you leave a like in the video right now for a limited time, I will give you literally nothing in return, just because I'm feeling extra generous. And with that being said, let's get right into the story. Alright, so this story was told to me by my friend, and so basically my friend has a little brother, and his little brother is in the 5th grade. Let's call his little brother Ryan, right? So Ryan is, he's going to school, and this story took place last year, so it was pretty recent, right? So Dream was pretty popular at this time. Dream is still very popular now, but last year was kind of like the rise of Dream and his popularity. And it was also kind of a very high point for Minecraft as well, so it was very popular. And obviously there's like a younger demographic that does tend towards those videos. Obviously a lot of people watch them of all ages, but a lot of people in Ryan's class were a big fan of, Dream and Minecraft and all those kind of good things on YouTube, man. And I totally get it. When I was in 5th grade, I was a big fan of Minecraft and, all the people that were doing it then. There was no like real centralized figure like Dream right now or like when I was watching it, but still, I totally get it. And that's cool and all. So Ryan is relatively into it as well. And a lot of his classmates are, and you'll normally notice like that every single day. Someone will be talking about it. It'll be some part of the discussion. So one day, Ryan is sitting in class, and him and his friends are talking about Dream. I don't know exactly what they're talking about, but, maybe the new Minecraft manhunt video or something. Honestly, dude, if I was in 5th grade, I would probably be, as hyped as they are about the Minecraft manhunts. I mean, to be fair, man, whatever you think about Dream, those videos are entertaining. There's a reason why they get so many views. But anyways, Ryan and his friends were sitting in class talking about Dream's new video, whatever that was at the time. And then he noticed that one of his friends was kind of like looking at them and kind of like smirking a little bit and was trying to be super obvious about like smirking and like kind of like doing this big old smile. And this friend, let's give this friend a name. Let's call this friend Sam, right? So Ryan and his friends were talking about this Dream video, and Sam is just there smirking the whole time, looking at them. And eventually he walks over and he joins the conversation. He's like, "So you guys really like this Dream guy on YouTube?" And then he has this big old smile. And obviously, right, Ryan and his friends just have no idea what's going on, and they're just pretty confused, bro. They're just like, "Yeah, he's cool. I like his videos," right? Like, that's cool. Like, do you know who he is? And then Sam looks at them and has this big old smile. It's like, "Do I know who that is?" and then like has like this big like look, right? And they're kind of looking at him. They're like, does he know who that is, right? Like they're not catching on, bro. And Sam is like starting to get like a little bit frustrated because he's trying to put on this big act and have them be all like mystified, but they're really just confused, which I would be too if I was in that situation. Ryan and his friends are kind of looking at Sam like, okay, bro, I don't know what your angle is. And then Sam looks at them and says, well, you know, I might know a thing or two about this dream guy. And he gives him this big old smile, right? And then Sam says, have you guys ever seen Dream? And they're like, no, he's not done a face reveal. And then Sam looks at Ryan and his friends and he's like, so you guys don't know what this dream guy looks like. So he could look like anyone. He could be anyone. And they're kind of looking at him like, okay, bro, like, sure, I guess. Like, we don't totally get the connection here. Like, we're not totally sure what's going on. We're not catching your drift, bro. And then Sam looks Ryan dead in the eyes and is like, what if I was to tell you that I know this dream guy really, really well? Like, I know this dream guy better than anyone else knows him. And at this point, Ryan was really confused. And Ryan's friends were also really confused because they were starting to realize that he was trying to, like, imply something. And now he's making a claim that, like, he knows this dream guy, which they're like, okay, this dude obviously does not know this dream guy. But they're starting to realize that he's trying to imply that he is Dream, right? Because he just prefaced it with, there's no way you actually know what he looks like, so he might as well be me. So Ryan and his friends are like, they decide to play a little bit dumb because they really want a confession. Like, they want Sam to say point blank that he claims that he is Dream. Like, they don't want, like, to make an assumption, then, like, then have Sam be like, oh, like, I didn't mean that. Like, you guys are crazy, right? Ryan and his friends wanted Sam to say. So they're like, we don't actually know what you mean, bro. Like, what are you trying to say? And Sam is like, come over here. And he kind of, like, has them come over. He's like, all right, quiet down. Don't make a noise when I tell you this. Don't be shocked. I don't want to draw attention. And Ryan and his friends are just like, oh boy. And Sam is like, Ryan? And then he says the names of the other friends there. I just don't know, and also just don't care. They're not important for the story, man. I'm sure that they're good people. But he's like, Ryan and friends, insert names, right? I have a confession. And he has this big old smile. And they're all just like, okay, let's see where this goes, bro. Because, like, they're just lost. And Sam is like, Ryan, you know that dream guy on YouTube? And then Ryan's like, yes, I know that dream guy on YouTube. We were literally just talking to you about him for like 5 minutes and you were being all weird. We also talk about him every day. Yes, I know that dream guy on YouTube. Yes. And then basically Sam says, that dream guy? Well, don't tell anyone, right? You have to promise me that you won't tell anyone, but that dream guy is me. And they just look at him like, bro? So they're kind of just looking at him, and I'm going to be honest, none of them believed him, even in the slightest. So they're like, okay, Sam, like, why should we believe you? We've never seen Dream before. You don't really sound like him. We don't think it's you, right? We don't really have any reason to believe that he's actually you, besides the fact that you just told us that you're him. Which we kind of just think that you're saying that because you've been noticing how everyone's been talking about him and really likes his videos recently. And then Sam is like, looks a little offended. He's like, you guys don't believe me? And they're like, hey, bro, we really like you, but no, we honestly don't believe you. So then Ryan and his friends were like, okay, right, we can't really believe you right off the bat, but if there's any way you can prove to us that you're actually Dream, like, we would love to see that because obviously, like, we don't totally believe you, which I hope you can understand. But if you're actually Dream, like, obviously that would be awesome. We love his videos. And look, Ryan's in 5th grade, bro. Like, Ryan didn't believe him, but he kind of wanted to. It would be really cool if one of his friends was actually like his YouTube hero, right? Like, that'd be pretty cool. So Ryan and his friends were like, okay, just come back with proof the next day. And then the next day rolls around and Ryan and his friends are waiting. and they see Sam walk in with a big smile on his face. Sorry to interrupt the video real quick, but if you made it this far into the video, which you obviously did because you're listening to this right now, I would like you to go into the comment section of this video and comment door down below, like D-O-O-R, the thing you enter a room or a building with, right? Just comment door down below. It's kind of like a fun community thing we do just to see who actually watches the videos. And I've been trying to heart as many of those comments as possible. So if you want the top commenter achievement next to your name, go ahead and comment it down below. There's a good shot you'll get a heart this time, if not next time. And you can always comment it on old videos. I just comment heart whatever I see. Anyways, with that being said, let's hop right into the story. Right, so Ryan and his friends kind of get together because they see Sam walk in. Sam looks at them, and Sam has this big smile on his face. So Ryan and his friends were like, oh, wait, is he smiling because he actually has proof? And then for a second, they're like, and if he actually has proof, does that mean he's actually... Because look, let's be fair, bro. In 5th grade, I believed a lot of dumb stuff. Like, I was super gullible in 5th grade, right? So Ryan still didn't really believe it, but... he really wanted to, bro. So he was kind of excited to see what, the proof was going to be because while he didn't believe it, he really wanted to. So Ryan basically goes up to Sam and is like, hey, man, like, how are you doing? Like, do you have any proof? And he's like, by the way, if you were just saying that yesterday, like, we really don't care. Like, it's all good, bro. Like, it's fine. If you don't have any proof, like, don't worry about it. And Sam's like, no, I got proof. And he has a little smile on his face and he walks away. So all of a sudden, right, Ryan is like, oh my God, wait, he actually has proof? Like, he has to be... Ryan kind of jumped to conclusions. So what Ryan ended up doing is he told his friends this, and his friends were just super excited because, they in the back of their minds, they really thought it'd be super cool if they were to know Dream in real life or something. So they ended up telling, like, the entire class that Sam was Dream and he had proof. Right, so when Sam eventually finds Ryan and his friends again, basically the entire class comes over and more or less crowds around them. And all of a sudden, Sam's face, which used to be kind of like smug and like, ha ha ha, like I got proof, he seems to be evidently a little bit nervous because all of a sudden, it's not just Ryan and his few couple friends, it's basically like 70% of the class is just waiting for this proof. So all of a sudden, like, Ryan is like, okay, Sam, like, I got some other people here that are big fans of Dream. Like, it would be really cool if it's actually you. We're super excited to see the proof. And Ryan's like, Sam is like, yeah, no, of course. I mean, I'm planning on, I got you. Yeah, and then Ryan's kind of like, Sam? Everything okay? Because Sam was, like, really wavering at this point. Sam's like, yeah, no, I got the proof. Let me just go get it. Let me get the proof. At this point, Ryan kind of realized that something was up because Sam was being very, very evasive, and he obviously was not confident at all. And he kind of thought that he just kind of, like, ran away to, like, recollect his thoughts or whatever. And obviously, if you're actually Dream and you're just trying to show someone that you aren't going to be super nervous about it because you're you, right? But anyways, right, so he's kind of like, okay, this is probably nothing. But he still wants to see it through. He's still kind of interested to see what Sam had in the first place. So eventually, right, Sam comes back, and I would say, I was told that, like, I'd say like a third of the group was still there. So still more than Ryan and his initial friends, but a lot less of the classmates. So all of a sudden, right off the bat, Sam is a bit more confident to show his proof. So he goes up to them. He says, hey guys, sorry about that. I just lost the proof for a second. Here's the proof that I'm actually Dream. So he pulls out his phone and he shows a text message conversation. And the text message conversation is basically reads like, oh, when do you want to play Minecraft next? I want to record a Minecraft manhunt video. And if you look at the contact name says George Not Found, which if you don't know, that's the guy that Dream, the Minecraft guy, normally plays with. But right off the bat, everyone was like, whoa, 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 whoa. If you're actually right, if this is actually George Not Found, Dream wouldn't have his contact labeled as his Minecraft username, right? So all of a sudden, they click into, like, they say, hey, can I see that for a second? And Sam's like, but he was too late. And one of the friends actually grabbed the phone, right? And when they grabbed the phone, they clicked into the contact to see what the number was. So they click into the number, and obviously it's a number that, they didn't necessarily recognize off the bat. But then Ryan realized that the area code was the same area code of like people in his classmates. They all didn't live exactly in the same place, but it was a familiar area code. So all of a sudden, obviously, there's a ton of red flags at this point. First of all, his proof is a text conversation, like, come on, man. Second of all, the contact is George not found. That's like if my mom had my contact as Connor Pugs, like, bro, that's just not how it's gonna work, right? So then Ryan decides to just call the number. He's like, hey, I'm just gonna call this number. And at this point, Sam was sweating. He's like, oh no, George is asleep. He's in England or whatever, right? Which obviously is not the case because it wasn't even like a British area code. It was literally the area code of like 20 minutes away from the school, bro. But anyways, they call the number and then they hear a phone buzz in class. And then they look around and they see that one of the guys standing on the other side of the room, his phone is ringing. And the guy probably wasn't paying attention to what was happening because he picked it up. I guess he was like spacing out or he's far enough away that he didn't totally realize what was going on. And he picks it up and he was like, hey, Sam, what's up? And it was just over at that point, man. So after that, Sam basically explains that, yeah, no, he wasn't actually Dream. And Ryan was like, okay, I kind of knew that the whole time. Like, it would have been cool if you were, but I didn't really expect that. And Sam was basically just like, he saw how much, like, you guys liked the Dream, the Minecraft guy, and how he really just thought it would be fun to, like, if he could pretend it was him and how you guys would, like, be so excited and whatever. And they all just kind of agreed that it wasn't a big deal. But I just thought that was kind of funny how the whole thing went down. And obviously it's not that big of a deal, but it was just a pretty funny story. And my friend's brother Ryan, right? He had a good story to bring back home, which was eventually brought to me and was brought to you on the channel. If you enjoyed today's video and want to support the channel, literally just go ahead and watch another one of my videos. I'm going to have some old storytime videos up on screen right now, or if you don't see them on screen, just go ahead and click on my channel, or you can watch the storytime playlist, which will be on screen, or it'll be linked in the description. And anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and yeah, see you in the next one. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today I have a story time for you that was told to me by one of my subscribers, where basically the subscriber went to a summer camp and he met this guy, and this guy claimed that Dream went to his school, right? So it turns out that this guy that claimed that did not live too far away from my subscriber. So my subscriber actually decided to fact check his claim and showed up at his school one day, and it was absolutely hilarious, and I had to tell the story. If you enjoy storytime videos, make sure you are subscribed to the channel with notifications on. You need to turn on notifications to make sure you do see all the new videos. And also leave a like on the video, as I'll give you nothing, which is pretty cool. Anyways, let's get right into the story. So this subscriber went to a summer camp, and the summer camp was towards the end of the summer, and he had to go back to school in about 2 weeks after the camp ended. And this camp was a sleepaway camp that was located about like 20-30 minutes away from his house, so not too far away. And anyways, he gets to the camp and, he's a little nervous because he doesn't really know anyone there. And his mom drops him off. He's like, hey, and she's like, hey, you're going to be totally fine. Like, I'm sure you'll meet people, all that good stuff. This subscriber was a pretty big fan of Dream. This was about like a year ago or a year and a half ago when Dream kind of like was really like popular for his Minecraft manhunts. And I'm not going to lie, like, I don't really watch Minecraft content anymore. But back when Dream's Minecraft manhunts were like super popular, like he just came out with them, they were pretty entertaining. I'm going to be honest. Like, feel free to hate on me, bro. Like, those things were entertaining back in the day. Anyways, he was a pretty big fan of Dream, so he gets to the camp, right? And that detail is more important later on. So he gets to the camp, and they basically say, okay, well, we're gonna have a little meet and greet thing before we head off into groups or your cabins, so you'll have an opportunity to meet people. And also, you'll have an opportunity to meet people at your cabin. And when they said that, the subscriber is feeling much better. He's like, okay, you know what? I'll definitely be able to meet people here, right? The subscriber goes to this area where all these other kids are, and he's kind of standing by himself, but he also notices that everyone else at this camp is more or less standing by themselves because no one really came here with friends except for a couple guys, right? But basically, what they do is when the camp counselors come out and they're like, okay, guys, right? Let's break up into smaller groups. So they counted off like into 9 different groups. So they went around going like, you're a 1, you're a 2, you're a 3, if you guys have had that happen before. So this guy gets a 4, a pretty unnecessary detail. I just remember it from being told it, right? So this guy gets a 4, he's in group 4, he goes over and he starts talking to some of the other people. And they start off with like the hey, like, where are you from? What grade are you in? How old are you? What sports do you play? And then you kind of move on to what do you do in your spare time? And some people were like, oh, I play whatever sport. Some people are like, yeah, I play some games, right? Kind of standard stuff. And then someone brought up how they watch a lot of YouTube. And then some people were kind of talking about like, oh, I also watch a lot of YouTube. And they're like, oh, what YouTubers do you like? And some people said that they liked, I don't know, Logan Paul. Some people said that they liked like some kind of makeup YouTuber guru, because it was a pretty diverse mix of people. But there was a couple people that were like, oh, like I really watching Minecraft videos. And then another guy says like, oh, which ones? And then like the subscriber actually pipes up and says, hey, I also like watching Minecraft videos. I like watching Dream's Minecraft Manhunt videos. I'm a pretty big fan. And then this kid kind of speaks up. And by the way, this kid lives near the subscriber because earlier they said where they're from, and the subscriber and this kid live basically in the same area. However, they're in like different area codes or districts, so they go to different schools, right? But they live in more or less the same area. So this kid kind of pipes up, and I don't think he totally realized how like close the subscriber lived, or he heard it and kind of just forgot. I'm not 100% sure how, but anyways, he says, oh, you like Dream? I know something very special about Dream. And then like the few people, including my subscriber who knew Dream, their ears kind of perked up because they're like, I like this guy. I watch him on YouTube. That's pretty cool. Like, I like this guy. What's the interesting thing? Like, I'm curious. And the guy said, Dream actually goes to my school. And they just kind of looked at him like, no, he doesn't. And he says, no, he really does. And he's being very firm about it. Like, he's being very matter of fact. And then they're just like, they're not 100% sure why he would lie. I mean, maybe because like he just heard that they like Dream and like he's trying to like impress them or something. But then he says, no, here's a photo. And he takes out a photo and he shows them some blonde guy. And you have to remember that at this time, and even at this time, Dream has never done a face reveal. I think he's maybe blonde or brown hair, but no one really knows what he looks like. So they're all like, okay, dude, we don't actually know what Dream looks like, but that could be him. The subscriber was thinking to himself, well, that could be him, I guess. Like, I don't see why it would be, but I also don't see why it wouldn't be. So if he's being so like, if he really thinks so. Anyway, so the breakout group ends, and then they're asked to go to their sections, which they were told in the beginning. Basically, that's where their like sleepaway camp area is. And they break up into groups, and the subscriber notices that the guy who claimed that Dream went to his school happened to be in his camp group. So he went up to him and he's like, hey, I'm from the group earlier. And the guy was like, oh, hey, how's it going? And then they kick it off, right? He's a decent guy. Like, they have some good conversations, and he's kind of the friend that the subscriber has while he's at this camp. Well, he doesn't like press him right away because the subscriber thinks, okay, if Dream actually goes to his school, like I know he offered up that information, but he probably doesn't want me talking about it all the time to him. Like, I'm sure that if it's actually true and he tells people it, that like people bug him all the time about it, and it's only going to get worse as he gets more popular. So maybe I'll just like let him chill out. Like, I just won't. Like, I just won't ask him for a second. Like, that seems fair enough. But after about a day or two of them just hanging out, they're at lunch together, and the subscribers is like, okay, it's been enough time. I gotta know. Like, I gotta ask some questions. This is just way too interesting. So the subscriber asks this guy, like, okay, well, how do you know that it's actually Dream? And so this guy goes on to say, like, Dream goes to my school, and I knew him for a long time. I was never super close with him, but, he was just telling people like that he had this channel and that he was posting videos about PewDiePie's seed back in the day before those videos blew up in popularity. So like he told people to subscribe and such, and then I did. But then his videos started getting really popular, and I just knew about it before. And while he didn't really go around telling people this afterwards, I was just one of those guys that he told before because I totally had a class with him, and yeah. So that's just how it happened. So this dude was not sounding confident at all, but the story honestly wasn't that bad. The story somewhat made sense, and you know, if I'm thinking about it now, that story would more or less make sense. Like probably Dream would tell his friends or people even he didn't know that well to give some of his initial videos a little bit of a boost, because if you don't know, the hardest thing about YouTube is starting, honestly. Like, once you have an audience, it's not easy because, like, YouTube is hard no matter what, but it is so much easier to get your videos surfaced. So in the very beginning, even a small push from just a few people could be the make or break to get you a YouTube career. So the story actually would make sense that, like, if you were to know Dream before he was famous, it wouldn't like completely be not plausible that he went around asking people to watch the videos, and then when he got really popular, he didn't want to talk about it. So while the guy was not really confident and it somewhat sounded like he was making it up off the top of his head, the story kind of checked out. Real quick, I'm going to interrupt the video and ask you guys comment Christmas tree down below if you made it this far. Basically, around halfway or further through the video, I just have people comment to see who actually makes it this far into the video, because I do appreciate that. We're kind of going on a Christmas theme, so yeah, comment Christmas tree down below. I also heart as many of those as I can. I don't get to them all, but I do my best. So if you want to farm hearts and try and get top commenter on the channel, that's the best way you can go about it. And also, if you want to DM me a story and appear on the channel, my Instagram is linked in the description, or I give the handle, and just send me stuff there. With that being said, let's get back to the story. Anyway, so the subscriber at this point was not convinced, but he also was not convinced that it was fake. He was kind of torn. The story made sense. The guy had a lot of conviction, and he did show a photo of some random blonde guy, which maybe was Dream. Like, he was very confident about it. The story made sense, but he also wasn't sure because, one, it could totally be something you could fake, and also, two, when asked more questions, he was not confident about it. He felt very shaky and the story sounded a little weird. So anyways, the subscriber's kind of confused, but he goes on just being friends with this guy and hanging out because while he's a little, you know, suspect about this claim, the dude's actually not a bad guy and he enjoys talking to him. They also have a lot of similar interests. They play Minecraft. They also both play baseball. Like, this dude's not bad. They have like genuine connection or whatever. And then the guy, the camp kind of comes to an end, right? It's about a week, and they're about to go home. And my subscriber says, hey, you go to such and such school, right? And because he knew that he lived close. The subscriber lived close to this guy, and there were a couple high schools in his area. He went to one of them, but there were also a couple others. And he was able to choose, he randomly chose one of two, and he knew that if the guy said no, then it was the other one, and he knew that if the guy said yes, well then he said yes, he went to that one. And the guy who claimed that Dream went to his high school was looking at the subscriber and was like, yeah, how did you know? And he said, oh, you don't remember, we both said we lived in the same area. And the guy kind of gets not shifty, but like is like gets a little kind of like, not like, he's obviously not geeking, right? He's not geeking out, but he obviously is like, oh, you know where my school is and we live close to each other? And the guy's like, yeah, maybe I should. The subscriber says, oh yeah, maybe I should stop by sometime. Like, you were a cool dude. Because they're kind of packing up, they're getting ready to go. And the guy's like, yeah, no, 100% totally. Like, we should 100% do that. We should 100%. Like, the guy was really trying to just, like, dodge the question. He was trying to get out of there. And the subscriber was like, that was definitely a red flag because, like, this guy was pretty reciprocal in their friendship. Like, the dude was not just, like, hanging out with them, like, and, like, trying to, like, avoid him, the subscriber. This guy was, like, actually friends with the subscriber. They related a lot. They had a lot of good times. So normally, like, you would be kind of like, yeah, 100%. Like, actually, let's plan a time to hang out. The dude was just 100% avoiding the question. His, like, answers were kind of shaky in response. Like, it was a big red flag. So the subscriber actually had an idea because he really wanted to test the claim of the guy if Dream actually went to a school because, one, he's genuinely curious, and two, he didn't really believe the guy, right? And he was interested enough that he wanted to go through with something. So the subscriber tells the guy who said that Dream went to his school, he basically tells this dude that, hey, I'm not too far away from your school, I'll stop by one day, and you don't have to tell me, like, you don't have to introduce me to the Dream guy, but I'd love for you to point him out. And the guy's like, Yeah, that's totally cool. Like my school has kind of a weird schedule, so if I'm not there, like it's just cuz like I got a weird schedule. I got a lot of things I'm doing, like a lot of random travel and stuff, but if I'm there, dude, 100%. So kind of a red flag of an answer, right? The subscriber says, "Oh, yeah, by the way, what's your Instagram?" And the guy's like, "Oh, kind of like happy that that the subscriber's changing subjects." The guy's like, "Oh, yeah, no, okay, here it is." So they exchange Instagrams, and then eventually the subscriber's mom comes, picks him up. They say goodbye, and the subscriber basically has 2 weeks before he goes back to school. So he's kind of sitting there. He doesn't really have anything planned for those 2 weeks. It's kind of like an awkward period of time because he has to prepare to get back to school, and it's also like not really enough time for them to like plan to do anything big. So he kind of is just like chilling for the last 2 weeks. So the subscriber decides to look up the school schedule for the friend he met at camp that claimed Dream went to his school. He wanted to look up the schedule for the school, and it turns out that that school was actually starting 2 days earlier than his. He wasn't 100% sure why, but for some reason they just were, and he's like, okay, I'll accept that. And he's like, oh, wait a minute. That means when they're in session, I won't be in school, and I can easily go over. So he looks at the school, and he looks it up on maps, and he's like, okay, this is actually like a 25-minute walk away. Yeah, it's a bit of a hike for sure, but I'm kind of too invested in this not to go through with this, man. Like, I'm a little bit too invested at this point. So while the subscriber is planning to go, like kind of planning this out, figuring out what day, figuring out like if he's going to eat lunch before or after, trying to like figure out when's the best time to leave, he has the idea and just like casually looks on this guy's Instagram that he met at camp. And he's looking on the Instagram of this guy, and he's kind of just scrolling through. He's seeing photos of him with like his parents, with his cousins, photo of him like doing baseball, right? And then he sees a photo of him with some of his friends. And then something very interesting happens. He sees the guy who he met at camp with some friends. And one of the friends is a blonde dude. And okay, no, it doesn't mean he's instantly Dream, right? But this blonde dude happened to be the guy that the friend at camp showed as like, this is Dream, guys. Like, guys, I'm telling you, Dream goes to my school. Look, here's proof. The guy that he showed as proof was one of his friends, which was interesting because when the guy was telling about like the story with Dream, he said that he didn't know Dream that well, and the only reason he knew that like he was the YouTuber is because he happened to be like in a class or something with them. So he was just like close enough that Dream asked him to like watch his earlier videos, but not close enough to really like hang out with him. So that was like red flag number like 900. So at this point, the subscriber kind of knew that he caught this friend in a lie, but he really wanted to follow through with it. He said, I put too much work into this, and I really just kind of want to catch him in the act. He thought he doesn't like dislike the guy, but like obviously if you're going around like lying about stuff and you get caught, maybe you'll stop lying. So he's like, you know what, maybe this is for the greater good before someone who actually gets upset, because the subscriber said, I don't really care, but maybe someone else will. So let's put an end to this. So the day comes, right? The guy's school is open. The subscriber is off from school for another day. And he eats lunch. He eats a big lunch where it's basically a brunch, so he can kind of have the whole day to, scout out the school, try and find him, right? And so he makes the walkover. And while making the walkover, he actually sends this guy a DM, the guy he met from the camp. And he said, hey, I actually don't have school today. I see that you're in. I happen to be really close. I'm just going to stop by in like 10 minutes. Like, just let me know if you're there. I love to like catch up, right? And the guy responds within like 10 minutes. And he says, oh, dude, like, I'm so sorry. I'm still in one of my trips. I'm actually still in Europe right now. Flights got weird, man. They got delayed. I don't know what happened, but I just won't be there today. Like, I'm so sorry, bro. Like, maybe you can come later. I don't know if you can even get in right now because I'm not there. They're going to be so weirded out. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, I'll see you soon. Like, guy was acting weird. Little spoiler, he was not in Europe. So the subscriber gets to the school, and he's actually kind of curious about something. So he sees the guy, and he seems to be about the age of the guy he met at camp. So he asked him, he said, hey, like, sorry, like, I'm looking for a friend here. Do you happen to know this guy? He pulls out his phone, and he doesn't show the guy the photo of the friend he met at camp. He shows the photo of the so-called Dream guy. And the guy looks at him, and he kind of just gives him this look. And for a second, the subscriber thought that, like, oh my God, what if this is actually Dream, and that's one of his friends? Like, trying to protect him. Like, wait a minute, was this guy telling the truth the whole time? No. This guy says, look, that's like one of my best friends, and I think I know why you're here. So did so-and-so, and he lists the name of the guy. Let's just call him John. Let's say that the guy who said the dream went to a school at the camp, let's call him John. So the guy that like the subscriber meets, who said, hey, did John say that this guy is Dream? And the subscriber says, yeah, he did. And the guy kind of lets out a sigh. He's like, oh boy, another one of these. So the guy says, look, this is one of my best friends. He doesn't even play Minecraft. We just play Call of Duty together. There's no reason for him really to be Dream besides the fact that he's blonde. So basically, John just goes around and tells people that at places where he doesn't think it'll get back to him, like an idiot, man. Like, you're not the first person to come here. This has happened before, and my friend was actually confronted by another guy who thought he was Dream. And we told John to stop this, and John said that he won't do it anymore, but he told other people at camp this, so maybe he should expect it. And the subscriber was like, oh, wow, so I'm not the only one who came to the school to see if this guy was actually Dream or not? And the guy's like, no, John told like a bunch of people at camp. It's super annoying. My friend's really annoyed, and honestly, since there was this one guy, we really let him off. Like, we let him off, but since there's like multiple guys and you're the second guy, and maybe there's gonna be more people coming, you know what, I think we're gonna tell on John to the principal. And then my subscriber's like, bro, like, I'm sorry, like, I didn't mean to cause any trouble. Like, John's a decent guy. I don't know why he'd lie about this. And the guy says, you know what, it's really been causing a lot of trouble, but maybe we won't tell on John. We won't tell on John. But maybe you should talk to John. And John's in class right now. And the subscriber says, he said he was in Europe. And the guy laughs. He said, Europe, bro? If he means Europe by over there, then maybe he's in Europe. But he's right there, bro. And he points to like a classroom. And he said, hey, they're out in like 5 minutes. Just stand outside. So the subscriber's like, okay, I got nothing better to do. And if it's really 5 minutes, might as well do that. He's like, sorry, man, for like bothering you. I probably shouldn't have actually come. Even if it was Dream, like, that's not cool for me to invade the privacy. And the guy's like, no, man, you're honestly fine. It's just not cool what John has been doing. So he says, like, all right, man, I'll see you around. Like, John should be out any minute now. So the subscriber goes over and walks outside and stands outside the door of John. And the classroom, you know, the bell goes, kids start filing out. John is walking out all casually, and then he just makes contact with the subscriber and just goes pale. And the subscriber's like, so you're not in Europe? And then John doesn't even try. He's not anything like, oh, my flight actually didn't get canceled. No, he's like, hey, like, I'm sorry. I lied to you about the Dream thing. I just wanted to make friends, and I thought you guys would want to be friends with me. Like, if I had something cool about me, I just don't feel like I'm that cool or have anything interesting, and why would someone want to be friends with me, right? So I thought it'd be a cool thing to say. And like, when I realized that you could actually come and see, like, I realized that, you know, my lie would not be able to stick, and I didn't want you to come for that reason, and I'm sorry. And the subscriber was taken aback by how honest John was all of a sudden, and he's like, dude, I'm kind of hurt that, you know, that you lied to me consistently and didn't eventually just tell me, like, right away. Like, but I do think you're cool, and you don't need to lie about these things, man. Like, I genuinely enjoy being friends with you. Yeah, I'm a little shaken because you lied to me, even though I kind of suspected that, but everything else was kind of cool. And he said, if you want to hang out, like, I'm down. Like, you know, maybe give me a sec to like get over this, but you're kind of cool, bro. Like, I would enjoy hanging out with you. And the guy John was like so taken aback by that he's like, yeah, man, I'm so sorry about that. We should really hang out. And that was the end of the story. So kind of a wholesome, good ending, but kind of a crazy sequence of events. And I thought you guys would really enjoy that. If you have a little bit of time and want to support the channel, literally just go ahead and watch another one of my story videos. Watching old story videos really helps promote the channel, and you can do that by watching any of the videos on screen right now, or even more easy, you can just click on the Storytime playlist that has all my Storytime videos together in one place. If you don't see it on screen, it's also first link in the description, so go ahead and watch that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, and yeah, see you in the next one. Peace. Minecraft kid of, well, I mean, you can read the title. Normally, I tell you guys to grab something to eat, but dear God, please do not grab anything to eat while you listen to this story. Anyways, let's call the subscriber Nico, and subscribe if you like stories anyways. The subscriber who sent in today's story, which you can send it to my Instagram, we're going to call him Nico, right? So this all happened one day when, you know, Nico was in class, and he was kind of just chilling, thought it would be a normal day, but his teacher comes in and announces that today is going to be a really special day, and it's not even going to be a special day, it's going to be a special fun day. So not like, ooh, it's special because we have a massive final exam, but ooh, it's special because we're going to be doing only fun activities today. And it was kind of a surprise that the teachers of the 5th grade, by the way, Nico was in 5th grade when this happened, the 2 5th grade teachers decided that they wanted to collaborate and give their students a break and also make it kind of a surprise. So the teacher announces that the other class, the other 5th grade class, as there were 2 5th grade classes for his 5th grade, the other 5th grade class was going to come into their room, they were going to randomly partner up, and then they were going to do a lot of fun activities today. The entire class was really stoked, and so was Nico, because like, dude, he didn't want to be doing any homework. He didn't want to be doing any math. You know how it is. And to be surprised with like a really fun day, it's just a good day, man. Things are going to be good. So anyways, right, almost on cue within like, as like the teacher said, the other class will be coming in, they hear a knock on the door, and the other 5th grade teacher opens it up and says, hi guys, like, I hope you guys are ready for your surprise today. Everyone is like, yeah, it seems like it's going to be a good day. Well, it's not, at least not for Nicholas, or Nico as we're going to call him, because, I mean, everyone else is going to have a great day, but you already saw the title. You already know how bad this is about to get. Anyways, right, so they were assigned with random people from the other class. And there was this kid in the other class who every single day wore the same creeper hoodie, like every single day without like a doubt. Like he wore the same creeper hoodie. I think you guys know them. It's like, you know, the hoodie that you can buy that has like the creeper head on it and then the creeper design. I mean, look, if you wore that, that's totally fine. As long as you don't wear it every single day without washing it, you're fine in my book. But the thing is, right, this kid either had 7 identical creeper hoodies or he just wore the same thing every day without washing it. And by the smell of it, not by the look of it, you could definitely tell that he was not washing it. And this was the 101 copy. Anyways, right, so being randomly assigned someone, Nico gets the gets the short straw, you know how it is, and he gets assigned with the Minecraft kid. We're just going to call him the Minecraft kid because he's always wearing that hoodie. And so the Minecraft kid walks over to Nico's desk, sit down, and says, hey man, how's it going? And Nico's like, hey, how's it going? And immediately as the kid sat down, Nico had to like prepare, he had to make sure he didn't like gag, just like gag on reflex, because there was like an aura of stench. Like the odor probably had a mass that was heavier than the air around it. In fact, it was probably heavier than water. It would be sinking, the water would be floating, like it was that crazy, right? So he sits down and Nico's like, oh, how's it going, man? And the thing is, right, sometimes kids don't smell that good. I don't know, maybe you just didn't take a shower, maybe you forgot the deodorant. That's totally okay, but normally there's not an aura of stench, you know? Normally they're not so stinky that if you were like 5 feet away, you would smell them. Like, it's normally not that bad. And Nico wouldn't have really cared if the kid wasn't like the best smelling kid ever. He wouldn't really care if, like, I don't know, he lifted up his his underarms and oof, that kind of smelled kind of bad, right? But the fact was the Minecraft kid literally had like an aura of stench around him. So Nico was like, all right, I'm just going to power through today, right? It's fine. And the teacher at the front of the class said, guys, like we have some like, you know, this is like, we have like a really fun activity. And the first activity planned for you guys, it's going to be an outdoor activity and it's going to be a fun game. And the whole class is like super excited. And the thing is, right, Nico's actually kind of excited too, because he's thinking, all right, outdoors, the stench will probably dissipate or at least be less strong if it's outdoors. So this is a massive win for me. It was a massive win until the teacher announced that this special outdoor activity would be hide and seek in teams. And Nico's just thinking to himself, oh no, oh no, because he realizes, right, hide and seek means that like him and the Minecraft kid with his stench aura, or they're going to have to hide together. Like they're probably going to have to hide together in very compact, close places. And the stench aura, Nico assumes, is only going to get more and more intense and terrible the closer you get to the origin. Which, like, he was 5 feet away from the Minecraft kid and he was barely making it. So, like, imagine being, like, directly there. Nico was like, man, I gotta practice not breathing for, like, an hour at a time because that's the only way I'm surviving this. But anyways, they all head outside. And real quick, the secret word of the day, It's Minecraft. I know, it's nothing that creative, but it is what it is. So comment Minecraft down below. I'll try and heart your comment as a way to say thank you for making it this far into the video. When you guys watch my videos for a long time, it really does help out the channel. And also, if you want to binge watch these videos, make sure to let me know in the comments and I'll try and say thank you back, as it really, really does help the channel. But anyways, right, they head outside and they're preparing for their hide and seek adventure type thing. And so they go out there and the teacher's like, all right, so we're going to choose who is going to be the, the one who's going to seek, and we're going to figure out, like, everyone else is going to go hide. Nico was praying to God that he was going to be the one, or his team of him and the Minecraft kid were going to be the seekers. Because if they were the seekers, dude, they didn't have, like, Nico didn't have to worry about being in a tight, cramped space. He just had to, like, he could be literally, like, 20 feet away trying to, like, he'd be like, oh, let's split up so we can divide and conquer, which, aka, like, I mean, it is a more effective strategy, but the real goal, the real intention is to get away from the stench aura, because you already know what it is. But no, a different team was picked, and he was like, okay, great. And the Minecraft kid is like, dude, I am so good at hide and seek. I know the best hiding spots. And, Nico was like, let's just hope that these hiding spots are not really kind of like cramped. And sure enough, the Minecraft kid is leading him. He's like, dude, let's go. So they got 60 seconds, or the seekers had to count till 60, and they were counting pretty loud. And the Minecraft kid's like, come on, quickly. And sure enough, right, the Minecraft kid leads both Nico and him to this spot. And the spot was like, yeah, unfortunately, it was super cramped. So the spot was like behind the building and was behind this bush. And the thing was, right, the little spot behind the bush that, like, someone could hide in, it was really only a good hiding spot for one person, and it would have been incredibly cramped for two. The Minecraft kid's like, don't worry, man, like, I can squeeze in. We totally got this. No one has ever found me in this hiding spot. And Zach is thinking to himself, wow, this is actually a really good hiding spot, because it was. However, the problem is, the better the hiding spot, right, the longer the duration that he's going to have to stay in that hiding spot, and also the longer the duration that, he's going to be in that hiding spot with the Minecraft kid with his, like, literally, like, life-threatening stench aura. And he's like, okay, this is going to be the hardest challenge of my life. And the Minecraft kid hops in there. He's like, dude, come on. And Zach is like, I don't know. And the Minecraft kid grabs him by the hand and drags him in. He's like, don't worry, bro. I know this place is good. And Zach is like, whoa. And legitimately, Zach has to wait there for 15 minutes. And Zach is, he's not trying to be rude, but he's like breathing. He like pulls up his like sweatshirt and breathes into it. And that makes the air a little bit less toxic, but it's still really, really bad. And Zach is, not Zach, sorry. That was the guy in the last video. I still have my notes up from that one. Nico is struggling right now. He's just like, he's breathing in air. He's coughing it out. And the Minecraft kid's like, shh, stop coughing. You're gonna get our hiding spot. They're gonna figure it out because you're being so loud. And Nico's just thinking to himself, man, I'm just trying to survive this. I'm not asking for much, man. I'm just trying to survive. That's literally it, bro. I just want to see my parents, dude. So Nico and the Minecraft kid are just sitting there, and they sit there for legitimately like 20 minutes. And then eventually the seekers come around, and they're around in the bush. And Nico's just like, all right, I'm going to have to sabotage this because this hiding spot is just too good. So Nico like forces out a fake sneeze, and the Minecraft kid is like, no! And the seekers eventually come over and find them. And the Minecraft kid's like, bro, couldn't you hold it in? And Nico's like, sorry, man, I had to sneeze. Like, I couldn't hold it in, right? So then Nico and the Minecraft kid also become seekers, because it was kind of like the zombie tag, where if like one person got tagged by the zombie, they would also become like someone who is it as well. It was like a massive swarm of zombies like that. It was the same thing with this game, where if you got tagged, you also became a seeker as well. And the Minecraft kid was just ruthlessly just going around just like finding people. It's like, got you, which I mean, that's how you play the game. I can't really complain like that. But eventually everyone gets found, and the teachers are like, all right, guys, I hope you had fun with that. We're going to head inside for one last activity before the day is over. And so they head inside and they head back to the tables, and the teachers are like, all right, we're just going to have a nice little like kind of like arts and craft type thing. And they show these big bins with all these art supplies and whatever, right? They're like, all right, man, come up and make whatever you want to make, and just have a good time talking to your new partner, or not your new partner, but your new friend. It's not a new partner. Nico would have been so happy if he got a new partner at this time. And but no, it's the same guy. So, the Minecraft kid and Nico, they go up, they grab some supplies, and they sit back at the table. And Nico's getting more and more used to the smell. And he's like, you know what, man, I'm going to make it through the next couple hours. And while they're sitting there making whatever they're making, the Minecraft kid is like, all right, man, let's get to know each other a little bit better. Tell me some fun facts about you. So Nico's like, okay, I don't really know, but I guess like I got a dog. I like to go on hikes. I walk my dog every morning. And when I do that, I listen to music. That's what I do personally. But back to the story. I don't know. I really, I enjoy playing Fortnite with my friends. What about you, man? And the Minecraft kid was like, well, I obviously am kind of a fan of Minecraft, as you can tell by my hoodie. By the way, nothing's wrong with liking Minecraft, bro. I love Minecraft. It's probably one of my favorite games of all time. It's the background gameplay I use for almost every video, and it has a lot of nostalgia. When I say Minecraft kid, I think you know what I mean. I don't mean someone who just plays Minecraft. But anyways, right, and he goes on to say, I also have these beliefs. And I don't know, people get really mad at me and they hate me for my beliefs, and it really makes me sad. And Nico, not really knowing what this guy was talking about, probably thinking that, I don't know, maybe he was religious and people were hating on him for that, which isn't okay. Nico was like, oh man, like, what's the problem? Like, what's these beliefs? I promise you, like, as long as they don't hurt anyone else, I'm all for you. I'll support you no matter what. Like, what are people hating on you for? And Nico, or the Minecraft kid, is like, well, I really believe in being natural. I think that we should kind of return, like, there's a lot in our modern day society that, we're straying too far away from like what we were supposed to be. He said, may that be from processed foods or stuff like that. And that's like kind of legit. Like, there is a lot of the food we eat is actually kind of poisonous because it is so far away from what we're supposed to be eating. That's pretty legit. But then he goes on to say, and like, my mom is such a hater because the truth is, I want to hear some facts. And, Nico was like, sure, I want to hear some facts, whatever. He's like, caveman, they didn't when they went to the bathroom, man, they weren't using these like really high chemical toilet paper. And Nico was like, bro, what? And the Minecraft kid is like, yeah, it's so crazy. My mom is such a hater about this. But you know what? I want to return to the good old natural days. And so I don't even wipe when I go to the bathroom. And when I take showers, I only let water pour on me, and I never use any of the chemicals and the soap or whatever. All these man-made inventions like soap and toilet paper, it's really just bringing us farther away from where we should be. And Nico was like, well, I can't say I'm necessarily shocked, but oh my god, what? And then the Minecraft kid turns to Nico. He's like, Nico, what do you think about this? Returning to the natural element. And Nico is just still stuck on the fact that the Minecraft kid is basically bragging about not wiping. And he's like, I mean, like, yeah, man. I mean, I think that, like, specifically with like a lot of like fast food and junk food and like trans fats and like dyes and whatever, like that's definitely something we should remove from the diet. I don't know if I'm 100% with you on not wiping and like not using soap, but I definitely am with you with the whole like, I don't know, artificial stuff in the food. And the Minecraft kid is like, well, I don't really care about the food as much. I mean, whatever. I bet the caveman ate dirt or whatever, and that can't be good for you either. I'm just more concerned with all the chemicals and artificial stuff in toilet paper and soap. And Nico's not trying to be rude, but he's like, man, I don't know how bad toilet paper is for you. I mean, I really don't think that there's like that harmful of chemicals in it. And maybe like it's going to be more harmful in the long run if you don't use it. And the Minecraft kid is like, no, you don't understand. I wouldn't really expect you to understand, as I've done a lot of research myself. Bro, just a little note from me. Whenever someone says they've done their own research, no, just stop listening to them. Just stop listening to them. But he's like, I've done some research myself, and I really think what I'm doing is going to be the healthiest for me. And that ended the day. But Nico was just so startled by what he heard that he actually contacted one of his friends who was in the other fifth grade class. Nico really was wishing that he was going to be partnered with his other friend in the fifth grade class, but it didn't work for him like that. And he said, "Hey, man, you know that kid with the creeper hoodie?" And the dude's like, "Yes, I saw you got partnered with them. You smelt it too." And Nico's like, "Yeah, do you know why?" And the kid's like, "Yeah, because he doesn't wipe, lol." And Nico's like, "Bro, what? He tells everyone that?" And the other kid like Nico's friend in the other class is like, "Yeah, bro, he's bragged to everyone about it. Like, legit, everyone here knows. I should have given you a heads up. I just wasn't able to. I'm sorry about that." And Nico's like, "Wow, like, I spent a day with them. You got to spend like the entire year with them. You're a trooper." And he's like, "Dude, I know. I once got partnered with them. I had to go to the bathroom to, the insides of his stomach came out on the outsides is what I'm trying to say from the smell." And anyways, Nico was like, "You know what? I'm so excited to go back tomorrow because we're going to have a normal day of school." And Nico never thought he'd ever utter those words. Click on the video on screen right now. I know you'll enjoy it. Just click it. Do it. We get a story of these anime kids that go completely insane and try and like fight the subscriber with these really weird things. I don't want to spoil the story. I know you'll enjoy it. Subscribe if you like stories, and let's call today's subscriber, let's call him Clarence. And right off the bat, I just got to let you know that like if you like anime, literally nothing wrong with that. In fact, I enjoy a little bit of anime myself. I mean, you got yourself some Death Note, some Attack on Titan. No spoilers, I've not finished the last couple episodes. I will ban you from my comments forever. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, this all happened one day when Clarence was just chilling in class. And there was a group of 3 kids who always sat in the back of the room, and they always wore like anime t-shirts or sweatshirts or whatever, and they were kind of known as like the anime kids. They were known for this not just because they would always wear like anime t-shirts and sweatshirts or whatever, but they would literally only communicate to each other with anime references. And one of them sat like L from Death Note, just little, which I don't know, that's just funny to me, man. I've tried sitting like that. It hurts, bro. I was like, oh, dude, I guess is this gonna give me 50% more brain power like L? No, it just makes my feet hurt. But anyways, right, Clarence didn't really interact with them that much. They kind of stuck to themselves. However, on one fateful day, when Clarence was walking in the halls and he accidentally bumps into one of them, and then the other 2, all 3 of them, the one he bumped into and the other 2 that were walking with him, right, they all turn and look at Clarence. And they give him this look. And Clarence is like, "Oh, my fault, like I wasn't looking where I was going." They don't say anything. They just stare at him intensely. And he's like, like, "My fault, guys. Like, I'm sorry. That's on me. Like, my bad. Like, I'm so, like, why are you staring at me? This is making me uncomfortable." And the anime kids didn't say a word. They just kept walking. And Clarence legitimately thought nothing of it because dude just bumped into someone and then said, "My fault. I wasn't looking where I was going." And yes, they were a little weird, not responding at all. It was a little creepy. It was a little uncomfortable. But Clarence legitimately, within 5 seconds, completely forgot about what just happened until the next day rolled around. So the next day, right, it's recess, and Clarence is just outside, and his friends, I don't know, they're doing something else right now, or Clarence does have friends, but for some reason, he's just alone at that very moment. And the 3 anime kids come up to Clarence, and remember, Clarence isn't like enemies with these people, or at least he didn't think he was, but he also never spoke to them, so it was kind of weird for them to kind of like just come up to him out of the blue and start talking to him. He was caught off a little bit off guard. And remember, he's completely forgotten about bumping into them until like they start talking to him, right? And they say, like, they come up to him and they're like, "So, you chose to fight us. You chose to start the battle, and we're gonna finish it." And Clarence is like, I think you have me mixed up for someone else, bro. I'm pretty sure I'm not the guy who started this battle that you're talking about. I legitimately have no idea what you're saying." And they're like, "No, it was 100% you. You bumped into us, which is a understandable battle cry. And yes, you're a fool for this, though, because we will absolutely smite you in battle." And Clarence is like, "Oh, no, that was like a mistake. Like, I didn't mean to bump into you. That was an accident. Like, I'm sorry, my fault." And they're like, "No, you can't take back your declaration of battle. This battle was started by you, but will be finished by us." And one of the kids, the one who sits like L from Death Note, kind of like reaches out of his backpack, and Clarence is like, "Hey, yo!" And what he reaches out of his backpack was a black notebook. And on the front of the notebook says Death Note on it. If you don't know, there's like an anime Death Note where basically, I'm not going to spoil anything too important, but the main thing is there's a book, and if you write someone's name in it and like what they died from, like the person will die within like 40 seconds or something. I might have butchered that a little bit. It's been a second since I watched it. Great show, by the way. But anyways, he whips out like a replica Death Note, and the other two anime kids are like, "You don't want him to write your name in this book." And Clarence has never seen Death Note before. He was explained the premise by his friend afterward when he told his friend about this story. But basically, right, one of the anime kids whips out a fake Death Note, and he's just like, "You don't want me to do this, bro. You don't want me to do this." And Clarence is like, do what? He's like, "Write your name in the Death Note." And Clarence is like, "Bro, what? I don't know what that is. This is like a book or something." He's like, "No, it's not just a book, you idiot, you fool, you simpleton, you moron. If I write your name in the Death Note, you will perish." And Clarence is like, "What?" And Clarence is just like, "All right, bro, write my name in that silly book." He's like, "Ha, you fool." And so the anime kid writes Clarence's name in the book. And he waits 40 seconds, and he's grinning the whole time, and then 40 seconds passes, and nothing happens. And he's like, Ryuk must have just nerfed this one, ha, ha, ha. The other anime kids kind of look at him, and then they look back at Clarence, and they're like, "You might have won this battle, but this is not simply a battle. This is a war, and we're coming back tomorrow with even more weapons and powerful. You will lose." And then they all kind of like Naruto dash away. And Clarence is like, "Man, why is this my life? Like, why am I here? Just to suffer?" Real quick, comment anime down below if you want to harden your comment. The secret word of the day is anime. And if you binge watch my videos, please let me know in the comment section. That's the best way to help me, to grow the channel, is by watching a ton of videos. Playlists are in the description to help you watch the videos easier. And yeah, back to the story. But anyways, right, Clarence is kind of just like, oh, so this is going to be like a thing. Because Clarence is this, he's hanging on to the words where the anime kids were like, "Oh, we're coming back tomorrow with even more." And Clarence in his head is like, "Bro, I don't want to have to deal with you guys tomorrow as well. Like, isn't today enough? Like, isn't like you writing my name in that book and then nothing happening? Isn't that enough for all this nonsense?" But no, the days just get stranger and stranger, because the next day rolls around. And once again, it is recess. And this time, Clarence is with one of his friends. And he notices out of the corner of his eye, the anime kids are rolling up. And he's just thinking to himself, like, "Bro, I'm not trying to do this right now. I'm hanging out with my friend. I'm having a good time. This is recess. This is supposed to be my break from the nonsense. This is not supposed to be the nonsense, ×2 extended edition. Like, I'm not trying to do this." And the anime kids come up to him, and they're like, "Ha ha ha, you might have won yesterday's battle, but you will never win the war." And then all three of them whip out these fake plastic Pokeballs. And at this point, Clarence is like, "Bro, you cannot be serious." And they're like, "Oh, so you know what we're about to attack you with." And one of them yells, "Charizard attack!" And they just chuck the plastic Pokeball at Clarence, and it hits him. And look, it's not like actually like, okay, ooh, yeah, duh, Connor, it's not a real Pokeball, shut up, right? But it's like, it's plastic, it's hard, and it kind of hurt a little bit. And Clarence is like, "Ow." By the way, a massive real-life Charizard did not come out of the Pokeball they threw. It just kind of bounced off Clarence, and it hurt a little bit. So Clarence is like, "Bro, don't do that. That kind of hurts." And then the other one's like, "Bulbasaur, attack!" And just chucks the Pokeball again. And Clarence is like, "Dude, stop. That hurts. It's going to leave a bruise." And the final one's like, "Pikachu, I choose you." And just chucks the Pokeball. Once again, bounces off of Clarence. And he's just like, "Bro, can you not?" And then another one takes out another Pokeball. Actually, it's the first one. And he's like, "Blastoise." And he chucks it and just completely misses Clarence. He's like, "Bro, I'm going somewhere else. Like, screw screw you guys, I'm going home. So him and Clarence and his friend, like, they just walk away, and his friend's like, bro, what? So Clarence explains the story as I've explained it to you guys so far, and his friend is like, bro, that's so weird, like, I'm sorry you have to deal with this. That must be pretty annoying. So the next day rolls around, and this is like the craziest day yet. So once again, Clarence is at recess, and he's with a pretty big group of people. He doesn't know all of them super well, but, he knows enough of them well enough that, I don't know, they're doing some big activity or whatever. And once again, the anime kids come over. And Clarence is like, guys, I'm sorry, I have to deal with something. So he walks over preemptively, goes over to the anime kids and is like, what is it today? What's the massive battle? And this time, right, the last 2 days, there was a teacher, like, monitoring everyone at recess, but they were kind of busy looking at other things or something. But this time, the teacher happened to be looking at the anime kids and Clarence. And one of the anime kids is like, today, we will have our final battle. And he whips out this big, long sash, right? And Clarence is like, dude, what? And he unsheaths a katana from it. And Clarence is like, yo, you can't have that here. And the anime kid starts swinging his sword around all like, he's like, you cannot control my power. My power level is over 25,000 right now. He's like, takes out his like katana, starts, and the teacher runs up, and the teacher like sees a kid with a massive sword. And the teacher's like, no, oh my God, like, this is actually insane. So the teacher calls the freaking police, bro, because, I mean, look, you can't bring something like that to school. The teacher both calls the police, tells the security guard, and the school goes on lockdown. So basically, after that happens, like, there's something on the loudspeaker saying, students report to, like, your classrooms, this is a lockdown. And, like, all the students start, like, running to the classrooms. And Clarence has a sneaking suspicion that the lockdown is due to the katana anime kid. Because you can't bring a freaking katana. By the way, that's a massive, long, like, sword used in combat in, like, the 1600s. You can't bring one, even if it's, like, a replica, right? You can't bring that to school. So sure enough, right, all the kids, they're like rushing to their classes, and yeah, Clarence and the anime kid, they do have one class together, and it happens to be like their next class is after recess. So yeah, they all go to the same classroom to lock down. And dude, the anime kid who has the katana is legitimately sitting in class with his katana, like it's in his like container or whatever. But it's very obvious, right? So they're all like in lockdown. They're all sitting in their classrooms. They're kind of all like sitting in the corner of the room with the shades drawn. I'm sure you guys have at least had like a lockdown drill before. Or maybe if you're not in the States, you haven't. But basically, right, you have to go in your classroom, lock the doors, and just keep everything, like, very still and as if no one is in there, right? So eventually, you know, there's a police officer that comes around, unlocking each of the doors and going in and assessing the situation. And the police officer eventually comes to their door, knocks on it, opens it up, and sees, right, the kid with the katana. And the police officer points at the anime kid and says, hey, I'm going to need you to come with me. And the anime kid stands up and he doesn't grab his katana because he's obviously not going to walk over to the police officer with a katana, right? And the police officer's like, points to the other officer, like, go grab that. So the officer kind of like walks over, grabs the katana, and the anime kid is like, no, that is my weapon of choice. And the police officer's like, yeah, that's also the reason why we're doing this. And I don't think the anime kid knew that that was the reason why they were having a lockdown until then. Even Clarence was pretty sure it wasn't because of the anime kid, but he had a sneaking suspicion. So Clarence is like, oh, uh-oh, look at who won the war, bro. Nah, he wasn't like default dancing yet. Just give him a second, though. So eventually, right, you know, the kid walks out and the police officer has a talk with him outside. And Clarence, like, presses his ear against the wall, and the walls of the school are pretty thin, so we can more or less hear what the police officer is saying. So the police officer is explaining to the katana anime kid that, dude, you cannot bring an actual weapon to school. That's insane. Like, look, it's like, yeah, I get it. It might be a replica, but it's still very sharp, and it could really be used, like, super dangerously. And that, like, bro, it's super... Okay, the officer didn't say bro, but, like, the officer was saying... it's super clear that this is a rule, that you can't be bringing this to school. Why would you think that this is necessary? And the anime kid starts to say, we were about to enter an anime battle or something like that. And the officer said, what, you were going to like use this in combat against another student? And the anime kid was like, well, now that you put it that way, I mean, the anime kid was slowly understanding that he messed up big time. The officer's like, I thought you were just bringing this in just to show it around. You were going to use it in combat against another student? Like, this thing might be a replica. It's still very sharp. You could definitely actually do some damage with this. Do you understand? Do you understand why everyone had to lock down? And the anime kid is like, well, I don't understand why everyone had to lock down. It's not like I was going to use it. And the officer's like, you just said you were going to use it. And the anime kid was like, yeah, but just on one student. And he's like, so you're going to use it on a student? And the anime kid's like, well, everyone doesn't need to lock down if I'm not going to like enter anime combat with them too. And the officer is just completely speechless. So the officer's like, all right, come with me, and kind of motions to the security guard to come with them. And they walk him over to the principal's office, or it's some kind of official place. At this point, Clarence was obviously not in earshot to hear what went down, but TLDR, because he did hear from other people and just kind of like figured it out. The anime kid got suspended for 2 weeks, and he was now, after this point, on extremely thin ice. If he even sneezed in the wrong direction, right, he was going to get in big trouble. For some reason, right, the anime kid never said that it was Clarence when he was being, like, interrogated. He refused to say the name of the student that he was fighting to keep the anonymity, oh my God, you know what I'm trying to say. He's trying to keep, like, I don't want to reveal my fellow soldiers and also my opponent in battle. I have respect for him or whatever. So Clarence never was a part of this. He never was asked in, and he also was kind of lazy, so he didn't feel like getting involved, and the kid was going to get in trouble one way or another. But after the fact, the other two anime kids that didn't get in trouble came up to Clarence, and they're like, you think this is over? You think you can vanquish one of our allies and get away with it? And Clarence is like, bro, I literally did nothing. I just stood there, and he just self-reported. That's not on me. And they said, no, this is on you. You better watch your back, because we will strike again. Vengeance will be ours. And to this day, the subscriber was telling me over on Instagram, which is in the description, that's where you can send in some stories to be featured on the channel. He was telling me that to this day, the anime kids have not, given their revenge yet. So maybe one day they'll have their master plan unfold and Clarence will figure out what the revenge is. But until this day, they are yet to strike. So yeah, you might be seeing a part 2, maybe. I don't know.
Click on the video on screen right now. I know you'll enjoy it. Just click it, do it.
Today we got a story of probably the cringiest emo kid on planet Earth. This is probably one of the craziest stories I've received in a long time. So sit back, relax, subscribe if you like stories, and let's call today's subscriber who sent in this story, let's call him Logan. So Logan was in the 7th grade when this all went down, and in Logan's class there was an emo guy and an emo girl. Yes, I'm in love with an emo girl type emo girl. And I'm just gonna call them emo girl and emo guy, because you guys know if I have like a billion names for people, I swap them. And even if I have one name, I've even messed that up once before. My brain is very small. But this all happened one day when the emo girl and the emo guy were at recess together, and basically like Logan had recess for a very long time. I know a lot of people don't have recess past like 5th grade, but Logan had it all the way through 9th grade, which is pretty cool. So basically, right, the emo guy and the emo girl every single day at recess would sit at this bench, which kind of was like close enough to everyone else, but also far enough that they weren't going to like get, I don't know, hit by someone on the swing or have to like interact with people. And basically what they would do is they would sit on the bench together and they would be in each other's arms and they would be like, society, no, but they would be like randomly cussing out kids, and like literally some kid would walk by, let's call the kid Ben, little Ben over here, little Benny boy would walk by the emo girl and the emo guy, right? I'm just gonna call them the emo couple. And the emo couple would be like, oh, look at that Ben. He's such like a conformer to society. He's such a sheeple. He's the sheep and sheeple, bro. Like, he doesn't understand our suffering. He doesn't understand how society treats us, because society hates the emo kids. And Ben would walk by and like he'd be able to hear all this nonsense. He'd be like, bro, I can hear you. And they'd be like, oh, what is that, sheeple? And sometimes they would just like get really like aggro and cuss people out. They'd be like, hey, Ben. And he's like, yeah, you suck, bro. And Ben's like, all right, no one likes you guys. And they're like, society keeps hating on us. Bro, why do you think society hates you so much? If you're sending hate out, you're getting hate back at the end of the day. But this all happened one day when Logan made the mistake of getting too close to the emo guy and the emo girl. So the emo couple was sitting on their little bench, right? And they were just like, society, as always. And sure enough, Logan, he sees his friends at the tetherball. I don't know if you guys ever played tetherball back in middle school, but that was the most fun game ever. I would legit play it if I had it in my backyard right now. But his friends were over at the tetherball, and Logan was walking over. And Logan could either take the long route, having to go around the basketball court to the tetherball, or he could pass by on the short route. He'd have to pass by the emo bench, as I'm going to call it, because that's where the emo guy and the emo girl would always sit every single recess and complain about shashade or whatever. And so sure enough, right, Logan just, he doesn't know like the real deal with the emo kid and the emo girl, and he doesn't want to take the long route. So he decides that he's going to pass by the emo bench. And he passes by the emo bench, and the emo kid is like, because he gets kind of close to them, because I don't know, he's been paying attention, he's just walking, and the emo kid, or the emo guy I should specify, is like, hey man, wait a second. And Logan turns around and is like, oh, it's that weird emo looking guy, like whatever. By the way, if you dress emo, I really don't care. Like, you can do whatever you want, man. You're good in my book. Just don't act like these kids, and we're chilling, bro. But anyways, Logan's like, oh, it's these kids. Like, I know they're kind of weird or whatever. And the emo guy's like, dude, I saw that you were looking at my girl. And Logan's like, bro, what are you talking about? And the emo kid's like, bruh, it's obvious. You're in love with my girlfriend. And Logan's like, dude, what? Seriously, what are you even talking about? He's like, don't try and deny it, bro. You're only going to get into more trouble from me. And like the emo kid looks over at his girlfriend, and the emo girl's like, oh, you're my big defender against this guy in society. Dude, I'm sorry. I can't do the story with a straight face. So Logan politely explains to the emo guy that he has no interest in his girlfriend. And he's not saying, oh, she's ugly, lol. He's just like, dude, I was literally just passing by. Why would you think that, like, I have any interest in her? Like, why would that give off the impression that I want to, like, get with your girl? Like, why on earth would that give off that impression? And so the emo guy is starting to realize that he was overreacting and that, Logan was literally just passing by. But the emo guy starts to come up with a different theory in his head. And he's like, man, wait a minute. Are you calling my girlfriend ugly? And Logan's like, bro, no, like, she's totally fine looking, like, so, and then he's like, so you're in love with my girlfriend? And Logan's like, no, bro, I'm not. I'm trying to go play tetherball with my friends. And the emo kid is like, so you disrespected my girl? Turns over to his girl, gets a little wink, you're hot, beautiful. She's like, oh, shiny. And he turns back around, and he's like, that's it. I don't stand for this type of disrespect and slander against my emo girlfriend, because I'm in love with an emo girl. You and we're going to fight tomorrow for her honor and respect. And Logan's like, what? And the emo kid's like, yeah, bro, we're going to fight. You and me at recess at this time, it's you versus me. I don't want to see you chicken out because I'll find you either way. And Logan's like, all right, bro, whatever. I'm going to go play some tetherball. Logan thought that was it. Logan thought the emo kid was just being like, I don't know, overreacting just to like impress his girlfriend. But unfortunately, he was wrong. Real quick, comment emo down below if you want to heart on your comment. I'll try and heart as many comments that say emo as possible, as that is the secret word of the day. And by the way, if you really do want to support the channel, binge watch a bunch of my videos. I got playlists, or just watch videos in the recommended from me. It really helps the channel. And please leave a comment telling me that you're doing it so I can personally thank you. Recently, I've also been getting a lot of comments of people saying that they put on my videos to go to sleep, which I don't know if that's an insult or a good thing, but either way, like, here's the thing, man. Watch time is watch time and it supports the channel. So, look, I'm not saying to put on a playlist of my videos, turn the volume down to 1% while you're sleeping to boost the channel, but I'm also not saying to not do that. Wink. Anyways, back to the story. So anyways, right, the next day rolls around and Logan doesn't think anything of it. Yes, in the back of his mind, he's thinking about the crazy experience of when he passed the emo kid bench, but he doesn't really think anything of it, and he really doesn't think that the emo guy is going to, I don't know, oh my god, I got hiccups. But he doesn't think the emo kid is actually gonna do anything, man. Like, he's just like, okay, whatever. He's just trying to impress his emo girl. So, like, whatever, bro. Like, it really doesn't matter. And anyways, the next day rolls around and it's recess. And sure enough, you know, Logan goes out once again to go to the tetherball because that's where the boys were at. And he had a great day at tetherball the day before. That is a really fun game. I don't know why I keep bringing it up. I just really enjoyed it as a kid. But anyways, Logan goes over and he's just planning on walking to the tetherball, having a good time with his friends. But you know who's standing there blocking his way? Yeah, it's the emo guy. And the emo girl is sitting on the bench and she's looking at her emo boyfriend, right? But the emo boyfriend is standing there and he's like, yo, do you remember when you disrespected my emo girl? And Logan's like, what? And the boyfriend takes out, like, you know, there's like at the Halloween decoration stores, those big like foam fake skull swords. It's like the big gray swords that are made of foam and super bendy, but have like the skulls on them or whatever. So the emo kid must have bought one of those or had one of those already, because he whips one of those out and he's just like, it is time to battle, man. And Logan's just like, bruh, like, what? Man, I'm just trying to play some tetherball, bro. Like, I don't know about you, but... And he's like, no, you disrespected my emo girl. Like, so sure enough, right, the emo kid, or the emo guy, I should be specific, is like, and you will pay the price. And he runs in against Logan, and he takes the foam sword. He starts like going whap, 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 whap. Just starts like beating him with the foam sword. But bro, it's a foam sword. It literally bends on impact. So when he hits him, right, the sword just bends in half, right? It just kind of whaps around. However, he's kind of whapping it pretty hard. He's like pop, 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 pop. So it's like almost like slapping him. And sure enough, Logan's getting kind of little red marks. It's like if someone was like, you know, they're slapping you. I slapped my knee, by the way. Don't be weird. If someone's like slapping you, they might leave like some red marks. They're not going to do any actual damage, though, unless you're in a professional slapping contest and your head explodes or something. But yeah, sure enough, the teacher saw that and is like, hey, you there, stop that. And, you know, the emo kid's like, dude, this guy started it first. And the teacher's like, no, I saw the whole thing. You just came up to this kid and you were just slapping him. Go to the principal's office. You have detention for the rest of recess. And the emo kid looks at Logan and is like, this is not over, man. This is not over. A week goes by and nothing happens to Logan. Logan kind of purposely avoids the emo bench. And he does look over and he sees the emo boyfriend and the emo girlfriend all cuddled up, cursing out society, as always, right? And sure enough, right, he just thinks he's done. Logan thinks he's in the clear, that the emo kid has stopped his nonsense. But no, wrong. The emo kid has not stopped his nonsense. It's about to get much worse, believe it or not. So sure enough, a week goes by, and during that week, nothing happens. So Logan literally forgets entirely about the whole emo kid, whatever, disrespecting his emo girl type thing. He just doesn't even, like, think about it. Like, at the end of the day, he's just like, all right, whatever, man. I'm going to go play some tetherball, go hang out with my friends, play some, like, Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I don't know, whatever they do at recess. But one day, a week later, you know, Logan walks into school, and Logan has a couple classes before recess. And Logan is just in the hallway, and this big, like, emo-looking kid who he has never seen before walks up to him. Is like, hey, I'm the emo kid's cousin, and I'm gonna beat you up. And Logan's like, oh my God. Because this kid was massive. The emo kid was kind of built like me, like a spooky, scary skeleton. But this emo kid, bro, he was like, I don't know, he was like a linebacker for like, I don't know, the Patriots, dude. He was a big guy. He was big guy for sure. And Logan, Logan was pretty medium sized, but he was about to get obliterated by this guy if he actually did do anything. So Logan's like, what? And the emo kid's cousin, who is also emo, he's like the emo, I'm just gonna call him the emo cousin, right? The emo cousin, who is super big, comes up to him and is like, you, me, boxing. Logan's like, bro, am I supposed to be Logan Paul? Like, boxing? Huh? But sure enough, the emo kid's cousin is like, yeah, you, me, recess, boxing. This is for disrespecting my cousin's girlfriend. And he gives him a little shove. And Logan, like, feels the vibrations through his body as he kind of stumbles back a little bit, kind of sizes it up and realizes, oh my God, this is not going to end well. So Logan is kind of struggling to pay attention in class because he's kind of thinking about, what's going to happen at recess. This big guy, the big emo cousin guy, said he wanted to box him, whatever that even meant, but he was a little scared. I mean, he didn't think he was going to do that well if he actually did end up boxing this guy. Just because this guy was big and he was kind of medium big, or he was kind of medium small, to be honest. So he was like, all right, man, I'm not going to do so hot. And Logan really knew that he was in trouble when he walked out, because he walks out of the building to go to recess, as he's trying to avoid the whole thing and maybe hang out with his friends instead. And normally people are kind of like, I don't know, dispersed around. Some are at the swing, some are playing basketball, some are at the tetherball, some are at the emo bench, whatever, right? But at this point, they were all huddled around. And when Logan walked out, they all turned to look at him. And Logan just knew at that point on that things were about to be pretty bad, if he's being honest. So Logan kind of just walks out there, and the crowd that's kind of circled around that was looking at him kind of steps to the side to show the emo girl, the emo guy, and the emo guy's big emo cousin all standing there. Apparently word got out that there was going to be a big boxing match or whatever. And here's the thing, right? Stuff like this never happens at Logan's school. So when people heard that this was potentially going to happen, everyone was like, all right, man, the basketball, the tetherball, the swinging, that can all be on hold because that can happen any day. But a boxing match between this kid and this big, emo guy who's doesn't even go here, this is not something that happens every single day. So sure enough, right, they were tuning in, they wanted to see what happened. And the emo kid is or the emo guy's like, oh my God, Logan, are you ready to get for disrespecting my girlfriend, my emo girl? And Logan's like, bro, I didn't even say anything. And the cousin's like, yeah, you're just saying that because you're scared. Everyone's like, okay, not everyone was laughing. It was literally just the emo kids. But at the end of the day, right, everyone was still watching. And so the emo guy takes out his backpack, because normally you didn't bring your backpack to recess, but for some reason the emo guy brought his backpack to recess. So, that was a little confusing. And yeah, so sure enough, he opens up his backpack and he takes out 2 pairs of boxing gloves. And Logan's just like, "Oh, so we're actually doing this. Oh, okay. So this is actually something that's okay. Huh." So Logan starts to put on the boxing gloves and is kind of in his head, what am I doing? If I go along with this, I'm going to get destroyed. So Logan, midway through putting on the boxing gloves, is like, wait, I didn't agree to do this. He starts taking off the boxing gloves, and the emo cousin is like, well, then I'm going to fight you either way. If we do this officially, it'll be a fair fight. If you try and run away like a little weasel rat boy, then I'm just going to come after you either way. So you got no choice. And at this point, Logan, is actually really concerned. The whole thing was kind of a joke, and it was becoming less and less of a joke up to this point. But at that moment, he realized kind of how serious the situation is. Just a little word of advice for me. Don't get into any, fights at school. Just, please, for the love of God, avoid all that stuff like the plague. If it's happening, just report it. Just get away from that stuff. But anyways, Logan's like, oh God, like this is really bad. And he was starting to get pretty nervous. And that's when that's kind of when like his guardian angel came in a sense, because this the school principal, 2 teachers, and 6 security guards, the entire security guard force at the school came in. People started dispersing. They started running away. The teachers pointed at all 3 of the emo kids. They also pointed at Logan, and the security guards kind of like didn't like apprehend them. They didn't like tase them and tackle them to the ground or anything, but they're kind of like, you 4, you gotta come with me. And the emo kid's cousin's like, I don't even go here. And the security guard's like, yeah, you still gotta come with us. And he's like, no, I don't. And they're like, we'll legit call the police on you if you try and leave. Like, don't even try. He's like, okay, whatever, man. So sure enough, all 4 of them, they were sent to the principal's office. And the principal and all the security guards were sitting around, kind of sat them down, and kind of just wanted an explanation of what happened. So the emo kids explained from their perspective, and then Logan explained from his perspective. And obviously his perspective is the perspective I just told. And apparently the emo kids' perspective was the same thing, but a little bit more dramatic, of like Logan disrespecting the girlfriend or whatever. But honestly, the stories were practically the same, which is a little weird. Like, why would the emo kids say exactly what was happening when obviously they were in the wrong? Apparently they didn't realize how dumb they were being. But yeah, sure enough, the principal's like, wow, that's insane. So you might be thinking to yourself, how on earth did they get an entire like security task force and all the teachers and the principals together when they were only out there for like 5 minutes? Well, apparently, since word spread of this quote unquote boxing match, that word spread, like it spread to the principal, and they took it very seriously. So they had an entire team ready, and they were monitoring the situation very closely to see if anything was going to happen. And obviously, if some kid comes from out of school to like try and attack another student, of course they're going to have an issue with that. So what happened was, Logan, since he was totally like in the right, you know, he was set free. He was totally fine. But and so was the emo girl, because she was kind of just a bystander, even if she did cheer it on. You could say the same for Logan for not standing up earlier. So those 2 were totally fine. But the emo guy, he was suspended for an entire week since he kind of orchestrated the whole thing. And the emo cousin, couldn't be suspended or expelled because he didn't go to the school. But basically what happens is they ended up actually calling the legitimate police about this whole thing, explaining what happened, and the police ordered kind of like a semi-restraining order. I don't know if it was super official, but basically it said if this big emo cousin ever stepped foot on the school again, he would be like trespassing, and the police would have their rights to come and arrest him or whatever. So yeah. What even happened? That's what I'm asking myself.
Click on the video
right
on
now.
screen right now. I know you'll enjoy it. Just click it. Do it.
Today we get a story of a Minecraft kid that gets angry at his teacher, so decides that, you know, his revenge will be farting in the teacher's face and then going completely insane. This is probably one of the weirdest stories I have ever received, so sit back, relax, subscribe if you like stories, and let's call today's subscriber Noah. So this all happens one day when Noah is just chilling in his class, and there's another guy in his class, and we're gonna call this guy the Minecraft kid because he's obsessed with Minecraft. He's always wearing the creeper hoodie. You already know how it goes. And obviously, right, if you like Minecraft, this video is not against you because, bro, I love Minecraft. Look at the background gameplay. But anyways, right, so Noah was just chilling in class. And he looks to like his left, and directly like to the next of him, directly adjacent to him, is the Minecraft kid. And him and the Minecraft kid weren't like best friends or anything, but he had nothing necessarily against the Minecraft kid. And the teacher was beginning the lecture on whatever it was, and he sees the Minecraft kid, you know, he had his computer out because everyone had their computers out. It was like 6th grade, and that was like the first time that, like, you know, they were given school computers or whatever, or Chromebooks, or I don't even know. He had his computer out though. And like, you could have your school given Chromebook or school issued Chromebook, or you could bring your own computer. So the Minecraft kid, you know, brought his gaming computer. And the difference with today and any other day is Noah looked over and saw the Minecraft kid reach into his backpack, pull out a mouse pad and a gaming mouse. You know, one of those like gaming mice that like all light up and glow and all that stuff? Yeah, he whipped out one of those. And at first Noah's like, oh, he just wants to use a mouse instead of the trackpad. Like, that's totally understandable. Trackpad sucks. I 100% agree. And anyways, right, Noah doesn't even really pay that much attention. And that is until he hears the Minecraft soundtrack. Super, super, super loud. Minecraft soundtrack is beautiful. I've actually like gone to sleep to it a couple of times on Spotify, but that's beyond the point, right? Anyways, right, so Noah is like, he realizes that the Minecraft kid next to him is not only like not really caring that, he has his entire gaming setup out, he also just doesn't care that Minecraft music is blasting away. And sure enough, right, you hear the Minecraft soundtrack, you hear the walking footsteps in Minecraft, you hear him beating up some chicken and the chicken making like squeaking noises or whatever. And so Noah's just like, oh my God, like this kid's gonna get in a ton of trouble. But sure enough, right, the music was just so loud that the teacher like turns around and like looks at like the Minecraft kid and is like, Minecraft kid, like turn down that music. Like you can't be playing music in class. So the teacher didn't realize that this was just like music to a video game. The teacher just thought that the Minecraft kid was playing like music in class, which, sometimes kids have like tried to like listen to music, but normally they'd use headphones or whatever. And the teacher says, hey, no listening to music in class, you gotta be paying attention. So the teacher kind of doesn't think anything more of it and goes back to their work. And so the Minecraft kid, sure enough, just turns off the volume, but keeps on playing Minecraft. And it's super obvious because he's like whipping his like mouse around and like clicking really fast and doing all this stuff. And obviously if the teacher paid like really close attention, he would realize that the Minecraft kid was not just listening to music, but was not listening to music at all, but instead was playing a video game with music in the background. So anyways, right, Noah's like, dude, this kid's gonna get caught. And sure enough, right, the Minecraft kid, I think in the beginning was playing like normal Minecraft, but then he goes on to one of those servers. I think he's playing Bed Wars or something. And this kid is like really good at Bed Wars. And when you're really good at Bed Wars, a lot of times you'll be clicking super fast so that you can place more blocks. Or maybe when you're fighting someone, you take less knockback and you might get more hits. So this kid starts butterfly clicking, which is when you take two fingers and rapidly slam your mouse with it. And sure enough, right, the kid in the middle of class starts spamming his mouse like and Noah was just like, dude, that's so loud. And sure enough, the teacher turns around and is like, hey, Minecraft kid, are you playing video games in class? And the Minecraft kid legitimately keeps on clicking because apparently he's in the middle of like a fight or something, like a PvP fight, and keeps on clicking, ignores the teacher for a good 10 seconds. The teacher looks at him in disbelief, and the Minecraft kid looks up and is like, huh? And the teacher's like, shut off your computer. You're not allowed to be playing video games in class. First you're listening to music, now you're playing video games. Like, that's super disrespectful and distracting. You're not just distracting yourself, you're distracting everyone else in the class, and that is totally not fair for them. And he said, and then the teacher followed up by saying, Minecraft kid, you're on super thin ice. Turn off like your video game. So the Minecraft kid is like, whatever, man. And like, closes the computer, closes the computer screen, whatever, and kind of like slumps back in his chair with his arms crossed because, man, he just, he wanted to play Minecraft. He didn't want to pay attention to whatever was going on in class, right? So at this point, Noah thinks that the Minecraft kid is done being stupid in class, but Noah was very, very wrong to say the least. Because anyways, right, Noah kind of goes back to paying attention to the class, trying to like take some notes. He's trying to do well in this class. And then Noah, to his surprise, hears clicking noises. And he's like, all right, there's no chance that like the Minecraft kid is back to playing his video games. But sure enough, the Minecraft kid had taken out his computer again and went back to playing Bed Wars. And once again, he's on his mouse going like clicking it literally as fast as he possibly could. And that he's not being slick. He's not being he's not being clever or anything like that, because the teacher immediately turns around and is like, Minecraft kid, I told you, like, you can't be playing video games in class. I already told you were on super thin ice. Like, that's it. If you can't like pay attention and you're going to be distracting everyone else, then you can't be in this class. Go to the principal's office and she'll deal with you. And the Minecraft kid just looks at him and says, what did you say to me? And the teacher's like, no back talk. Go to the principal's office now. And from here on, things were about to get much, much worse. But real quick, comment Minecraft down below if you want to harden your comment, as Minecraft is the secret word of the day. And by the way, if you've been binge watching my videos, please leave a comment like this down below so I can heart it, maybe reply, just so I can know that you're doing it and say thank you. Because when you watch a bunch of my videos in a row, it really does help out the channel more than you can even imagine. And I mean, also, if you want to be like this guy, I'm not saying to leave a playlist of my videos on overnight when you go to sleep with the volume on 1%, but I'm also not saying not to do that. Wink. Wink, 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 nod, smile. Anyways, back to the story. This is where it gets crazy. So at this point, the teacher has told the Minecraft kid that, you know, he needs to go to the principal's office right now. And the Minecraft kid is not happy about this at all. And so sure enough, you know, the teacher, let me just paint the picture for you guys. The teacher is sitting down at their desk, at their chair, whatever, right? And the Minecraft kid walks up to go to like the door to leave the class, presumably, right? You know, because he has to go to the principal's and whatever, right? So he walks up to the front of the class. At this point, everyone has kind of been paying attention. Noah's like, wow, like this kid, you know, whatever. I mean, if the punishment fits the crime, if you're being an idiot, like play stupid games, expect stupid consequences, like it is, or expect stupid prizes. That's the actual phrase, my fault. But anyways, right, the Minecraft kid does something absolutely crazy because he walks up to the front of the class and he slows down as soon as he gets to his teacher. And the teacher's like, keep moving. Principal's office is that way. And as soon as the teacher says, keep moving, the principal office is that way, the Minecraft kid runs over to the teacher. And the teacher, remember, is sitting down at a pretty low desk / chair. And the Minecraft kid stands, like, whips out a chair, puts it down from the teacher. And the teacher is in the middle saying, hey. And the Minecraft kid steps on the chair, turns around, and rips the biggest fart you've ever heard in the teacher's face. Like, this is the most ridiculous thing Noah has ever seen in his life. And in Noah's head, he was like, huh? What? Huh? And the teacher was just as shocked. The teacher's just like in a state of disbelief, also a state of like stink, because like, man, the Minecraft kid was eating like mega like I don't know, he was eating like premium beans for the last 7 months before doing this fart, bro. I swear to God. Like Noah said he could like legit like smell it from being like 20 feet away. And the teacher's like, oh God. And then the Minecraft kid's like, yeah, and then runs away. So the teacher is now steaming mad because he's got this big old fart that was just like landed in his face. This kid is destroying his entire class. So now the Minecraft kid is like, catch me if you can, and starts running around the class. And the teacher is so mad right now. Like the teacher is so angry. So the teacher starts sprinting after the kid. And the Minecraft kid is like, it just starts like running around the class, pushing over chairs to make it harder for the teacher to get. And the teacher's like, that's it. You're gonna be suspended for so long. You'll be lucky if you don't get expelled. I'm calling up your parents and I'm writing a full report. And Noah and everyone else in that class was just sitting there with their mouths dropped their mouths dropped open to the floor. They were just like, what is going on? Like, oh my God. Like, I knew this kid was a little weird, but seriously, what is going on right now? So the Minecraft kid is sprinting around the class, kind of doing like, so, you know, like in football where you kind of like psych them out and then you go the other way. And the teacher is kind of lumbering around like, every second that you're running, everything that you're pushing over, every like millisecond that you're not like obeying me and going to the principal's office, your punishment is increasing by 100%, which really doesn't make a lot of sense because there's a cap. Like you can't really punish someone beyond expelling them. So what's like 300,000% beyond expelled? I don't really know. You tell me. So anyways, right, the Minecraft kid's like, and then eventually, right, the Minecraft kid accidentally like trips on something. The Minecraft kid falls, and at this point, the teacher has made up enough ground to grab the Minecraft kid by the hood of by like the scruff of his creeper hoodie, and it's like, you are coming with me. And the entire class is so silent, as this is the most ridiculous thing they have ever seen in their life. And Noah is just like oh my God, do I have a story to tell my mom? So anyways, the Minecraft kid is being dragged out by his creeper hoodie, and all four legs are flailing. He's like, no, no, no. And then like the teacher goes out the door, slams it shut. The entire class is silent. No one's mumbling. You would have thought that people would have been like, wow, that was crazy, guys. I wonder what's... No, nope. It was dead silent. Nobody uttered a word. And because of this silence, they were able to hear very clearly the teacher yell, hey, get back here. And within about 20 seconds of them hearing the teacher yell that, they once again see the class door slam open, and the Minecraft kid, with his hair all messed up and his clothes all kind of like ripped up a little bit, runs into the classroom, slams the door shut, and then locks it, because for some reason this door locks from the inside, which actually I guess that does make sense, but he locks it from the inside. You didn't need a key, you just need to press something. And the Minecraft kid goes over to the teacher's desk after locking the door, literally takes his foot and kicks off everything, including like a $500 Chromebook, right? That kind of breaks on the floor. All the books fall over. The teacher's coffee mug flies off the desk and like smashes on the floor. And the Minecraft kid steps on the teacher's chair and then steps on the desk and is like, attention! I mean, dude, he didn't really need to say attention to get their attention, because literally everyone was paying attention to this guy at this point. The Minecraft kid goes on to declare himself as the ruler of the class, and that he is now the dictator and they must do what he says. And everyone in the class is just like completely silent, because they're just so shocked by the chain of events that just happened. And the Minecraft kid says, now, as ruler of the class, you must refer to me as Lord. You will not call me by my name. Let's call him Joseph. You will not call me by my name, Joseph. You will only call me by Lord. And everyone in the class is just like, huh? This has been like, they're just like, what happened in the last 7 minutes of this class? How did we get from learning about the quadratic equation to this, to having a kid like fart in the teacher's face, run away from them, close the door, slam all their stuff off the desk, and declare himself ruler of the class? How did we get here? So anyways, right, they're basically held hostage by the Minecraft kid, because, sure enough, like, people come to the door, they're slamming on it, they're like, hey, let us in, and the Minecraft kid's like, nobody go to that door, like, nobody dare do it. And one kid is like, hey, like, I gotta go to the bathroom, because at this point, they were kind of like accepting that the Minecraft kid was the de facto ruler, at least for the next like 10 minutes or so. And the Minecraft kid's like, no, that's treacherous. You just want to let them in. And the kid's like, dude, no, like, I really gotta pee. And the Minecraft kid's like, that's too bad. You should have thought of that before I took over. And the kid's like, bro, like, how would I have known that any of this nonsense was gonna happen? The Minecraft kid is like, too bad, so sad. So at this point, Joseph was sitting in, or Noah, not Joseph, sorry, that's the name I gave the Minecraft kid. At this point, Noah was sitting in class, and he was getting he was getting pretty upset. He just didn't want to deal with, the Minecraft kid anymore. He was like, this kid is a menace, he's totally insane. The thing is, Noah's actually trying to pay attention in class. Like, Noah is trying to, get his grade back, because he was struggling on the first couple tests, so he was really committing to learning the material. And he was getting kind of angry that he was kind of being robbed of this experience. As funny as he thought it was, he really didn't want to have to deal with this much longer. So Noah was thinking to himself, all right, there are most likely security guards at the door, if not some kind of adult that can help us in this situation. Because for the last couple of minutes or so, people have been slamming on the door, let us in, Minecraft kid, or Joseph, let us in, Joseph. Like, you gotta let us in, man. Your punishment will be worse. Or it will be your punishment will be worse the longer this is. And so, at this point, Noah is like, all right, I think I'm just going to make a dash for it, but I got to cover it up so this crazy kid doesn't fart attack me or something. Like, I don't know what he's going to do. I don't want freaking pink eye, bro. Like, that's disgusting. So Noah's like, hey, do you mind if I sharpen my pencil? And the Minecraft kid's not the brightest man ever. So he's like, sure, peasant, go ahead. And he's like, wait. No. And then Noah's like, dude, what? He's like, Ask me again, but you must refer to me as Lord. And Noah in his head is like, all right, this kid freaking sucks, but I'm about to ruin him. So yeah, whatever he wants for his next 30 seconds of rulership. So he's like, my lord, do you mind if I sharpen my pencil? And the Minecraft kid is like, fine, peasant, go ahead. And like the Minecraft kid is like sitting on the desk, and he's kind of made it like a king, like a kind of like a king throne in a sense. And everyone is kind of like whispering to each other, like going on their phones, like trying to like contact people. But sure enough, right, Noah kind of walks up and is very calmly walking towards the pencil sharpener, which was on the other side of the room as the door. It was towards the front of the room, which means he didn't have to do a massive sprint, but it was kind of on the other side. So he's walking very slowly to the pencil sharpener. And that's when he's able to look out the door. And sure enough, there are he sees the outlines of two pretty big guys, and he's like, all right, these are the security officers. And, as the Minecraft kid is like disciplining someone, being like, no, you must refer to me as Lord, because they asked a question or something, that no one realized that was his moment. That was his opportunity. So he changes direction incredibly quickly, sprints towards the door, and the Minecraft kid is like, peasant, what are you doing? And at that point, Noah goes to the door, quickly unlocks it, opens it up, steps aside, and two big security guards run into the room, and they just grab the Minecraft kid. And the Minecraft kid's like, no, my peasants, fight for me. I have been a great ruler. I've been a great king. No. And he's dragged out. And at this point, right, the teacher returns to the classroom, completely out of breath. Her hair is all frizzed up. And she's just like, class, I don't think I have it in me to finish the class today. I will allow you guys to have recess or a break period. I will have to monitor you guys, but please don't ask me to do anything. I don't have the energy or willpower right now. And the entire class was very understanding, as this, when you go to teacher school, when you take the final exam for being a teacher, there's no final trick question of what do you do if a Minecraft kid farts in your face and then literally starts a coup and takes control of your classroom. That's not on the final exam. That's not in the job description. So everyone was they're pretty forgiving. What ends up happening, however, is the teacher doesn't monitor them. The teacher just gets another person to watch after them, because the teacher's actually going to the hospital because her eyes and her entire face were feeling weird. What ended up happening was both the teacher ended up getting had to go to the hospital and got pink eye, a very severe case, and got an eye infection. She's totally fine now apparently, but when the Minecraft kid farted in her face, all these gross, disgusting germs got in there, and it could have been really bad. And because of all the nonsense that the Minecraft kid was doing, he was suspended for 2 entire weeks. Honestly, he's lucky that he didn't get expelled, but he was also after those 2 weeks were up, he was invited back to the classroom, and he had to also during those 2 weeks write a paper saying why what he did was wrong and apologize to everyone. And he was forced to read that in front of the entire class. And Noah tells me that it was probably the most awkward experience.
Click on the video on
life.
screen right now. I know you'll enjoy it. Just click it. Do it.
Today I got a story probably one of the craziest emo kids of all time, and I've told a lot of crazy stories, so strap in, subscribe if you like stories, and let's call today's subscriber, let's call her Luna. So Luna was a tennis player and was pretty good at tennis, and over the summer, her mom sent Luna to a tennis camp, and this story starts pretty far through the tennis camp. So the tennis camp lasted about 1 week long, and on the last day, which was Friday, all the parents would come and they would watch kind of a tennis tournament of all the kids who were playing and learning how to play and getting better during the week. There would be a big tournament. They would have a fake little trophy thing, but the main important thing was that there was a big tournament at the end of the week and all the parents came to watch. So this story starts on that Thursday. So this is the day before the last day, which is the big event. And this tennis camp took place at a college, so they had access to a college dining hall. And Luna and her 2 friends were walking, to go try and find a table. And Luna's 2 friends said, oh, look over there. Or one of Luna's friends said, oh, look over there. There's a table. So Luna's 2 other friends, went over and sat down at the table. Luna said, I'll be right back. I'm going to go get something. So Luna walks over to the dining hall, grabs something to eat, and is walking back. And while Luna's walking back, she's not really paying attention. Like, she's kind of like, I don't know, spacing out or looking on her phone, or for some reason, she's not paying full attention to her surroundings. So unfortunately, she bumps into this guy. And, the guy had a tray of food, and the food, honestly, it wasn't even that bad. Like, the food, sure, like a little bit got on his shirt, but it wasn't like the entire tray exploded all over his shirt and his clothes were soiled and ruined beyond repair. Like, yeah, dude, you got sprayed a little bit. That sucks, but it's time to move on. And Luna was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. That's so embarrassing. And like, she's like, I'm so sorry. Like, I wasn't paying attention. And this kid, Luna's looking at this kid, and this kid is very clearly like an emo kid. And by the way, there's nothing wrong if you dress like goth or emo or whatever. It's a style, and I think a lot of my viewers have the style, and I don't personally do it myself. That isn't my style, but I rock with you if you do that. No hard feelings. However, if you're like this emo kid, bro, you got to change some things in your life. That's all I'm saying. Because this emo kid looks at Luna, looks her dead in the eyes, and then takes out a book. And Luna's like, what? And the emo kid, so he has this book in his hand, and Luna notices that there's like ancient hieroglyphics. Dude, my brain is not working right now. There's like ancient like letters and all these like symbols on the book. Basically, it looks like a wizard or witch book or something. And Luna's thinking to herself, all right, there's no shot that like that's actually like a wizard book or something. And the emo kid reaches into his back pocket and takes out a wand. So he opens up the spell book and he's waving his wand around. He's like, you have made a great enemy. You have made a great mistake bumping into me on purpose. And Luna's like, it wasn't on purpose, man. Like, I swear to you, like, I wasn't paying attention, and I apologize for that. I should have been paying attention. You're right. Like, that's on me. However, like, come on now. It was an accident. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what kind of nonsense doobly-doop you're doing right now. But he's like, silence, mortal. And he's like waving his wand around. He's like, hibbity-bibbity-bobbity-boo. I put something like super goofy, but like supposedly like, I don't know, wizard tongue or something. He's like, beepity boop, boppity bee. I'm like, okay, bro, like, let's calm down now. And he's like, there, you've been cursed. And he slams the book shut with one hand, puts the wand back in his pocket, puts the book back into his backpack, which he was carrying around. Or I guess not a backpack. I guess it was like a tennis bag with a racket in it. And the emo kid walks off. And Luna is just standing there, just kind of like, what just happened? Like, can we just have like a little pause and a rewind of what just happened here? Because I don't think that like I really understood what was going on, because there's not a shot that actually just happened. So Luna goes back to the table with her two friends, and her two friends are like, what took you so long? And Luna's like, well, I actually have a very interesting answer that I bet you guys were not expecting. So Luna tells them the story, and they're like, one of them was just like, oh my God, that's crazy. The other one was like, dude, like, I know that kid. Like, I was in a tennis group earlier this morning. We're practicing forehands. I know that kid. He was so weird, bro. He was all like, okay, he wasn't like the other emo kid, bro. I'm just playing around. But he was like all like in the corner, hushed away. And when the coach said to him it was his turn, he kind of like looked up at him and flicked his long dark hair back, kind of sighed, and then like, hit a forehand or something. And they're like, that kid was super weird, but I had no idea that he was like that weird. Because there's a difference between being kind of weird and putting spells on people randomly. Like, that's just two different ballparks, bro. Quick comment emo down below if you want to heart in your comment. That is the secret word of the day, and I will do my best to heart as many comments as possible. I'm still getting over some complications with the wisdom teeth, and that might take a couple days. So please don't take it personally if I don't heart your comment. Do know I still really appreciate it. And also, shout out to all the people who've been binge watching my videos, like going through and watching a ton of them, either via the playlist or just through the recommended. Please let me know in the comment section when you're doing this so I can heart it and say thank you, and just know that you're supporting the channel more than you can even imagine at this point. I really appreciate it. Back to the story. It gets crazy. Anyways, right, so the next day rolls around, and remember that, Luna was at a tennis camp, and on the last day, which was the next day, because this whole spell incident happened on a Thursday, and the last day was on a Friday. So it was Friday, it was the last day, And it was only like a half day because the parents would come and pick you up by the end of it. But anyways, right, there was a big tennis tournament and all the parents came to watch. So it was a pretty big deal. And so everyone was sitting around on the tennis court, and like the coach was standing at the very front. Everyone was sitting on the tennis court and he was reading off his list of like, all right, guys, like, thank you for all your hard work this week. And finally, it pays off. Just know that, win or lose, like, we just want to make sure you have a fun time and that, I mean, there can only be one winner, so you can't take it that personally if you don't win. The most important thing is to, like, good sportsmanship and have a fun time. And anyways, let me read off the pairings. So the pairings were read off, and Luna had a first round match where she played against some random guy or something, and she was better. She was probably one of the top 10 people at the camp. She didn't expect to win the tournament. I mean, the other people, were some people that were much better than her, and maybe they're having a bad day or whatever, but Luna just wanted to go out there, have some fun. So Luna's first round match went down really well. She won 6-2, 6-3, which is pretty solid win. If you guys know tennis, I used to play tennis a lot back in the day. That's why I can tell this story so well, at least the tennis parts. But anyways, things get really interesting when Luna goes into her second round match. The second round match is against a familiar character that you guys may or may not remember from earlier in the story. Yes, Luna is playing the emo kid, and let me just say that Luna did not forget the emo kid, but very well the converse is true too, because the emo kid had not forgotten about Luna either. Which means, yes, Luna versus the emo kid are about to play after the emo kid put a spell on her. And Luna's just looking at her opponent like, there's no way. There's no way, man. There's no way. So anyways, right, Luna, so when you play tennis, you normally, like, you will warm up with your partner and then you'll get into playing. But basically, you both stand on two sides of a net, just very quickly for people who don't know. And so Luna was standing on one side of the net, and the emo kid was, like, sulking over and kind of, like, was all hunched over and kind of, like, wandered over to the other side of the net. And so Luna walks up to kind of, like, the net in between, and the emo kid walks up as well. And Luna's like, all right, like, do you want to warm up? And the emo kid is like, insert maniacal laugh. I can't do a maniacal laugh right now. I just can't do it. So insert like the most evil maniacal laugh from like TV shows and movies you can think of. And dude, out of all the responses Luna was expecting, okay, Luna was either expecting like yes or no. It was a yes or no question. But out of all the responses that Luna was expecting, let me just say that a maniacal laugh was not on the list, dude. Like, it just was not on the list. And so Luna's kind of just thinking like, okay. And then the emo kid goes on to say, like finishes up his maniacal laugh and is like, why would I need to warm up when I have the curse on my side? And Luna was just like, oh, so we're still going with that. We're not just going to like, because Luna was kind of thinking, all right, well, let's just put yesterday behind us because that was very weird. You know what? Luna gave this guy, the privilege of allowing, just to put that behind them. Because normally that's not a thing you just put behind, right? The fact that, like, you got a spell put on you, normally you don't just forget about that. But Luna was like, oh, okay, so no warm-up? And the emo kid said, yeah. Well, I mean, I have the curse on my side, so why would I need to warm up anyways? And Luna was like, all right, fine, I really got to smack this kid. So Luna and the emo kid kind of go immediately into playing the match, and so Luna spins the racket, and sure enough, it is the emo kid's choice. So basically, in the beginning of tennis, you spin like heads or tails, and if you get it right, you can choose to serve or have the other person serve. And the emo kid starts maniacally laughing. So once again, insert the like maniacal evil villain laugh after the racket is spun. And, Luna's just kind of looking at him like, dude, what? And the emo kid is like, looks like my curse is already working. Insert again another maniacal laugh. And Luna's just thinking to herself, all right, bro, like, let's not jump to conclusions. There's a 50-50 chance that you were going to get that. Like, come on now. In the back of Luna's mind, she was like, well, I wonder if the curse is real, but her rational mind was able to take control and be like, all right, let's just smack this kid. I know I'm better than him. So sure enough, right, the emo kid starts serving. Basically, that's the way you start a tennis point. So the emo kid throws it up, bops it in, And the serve is not that good. Serve is the hardest part of tennis, in my opinion. But the serve is not that good. And Luna, really wanting to have a good impression to kind of quote-unquote break the curse, winds up a massive forehand, completely crunches it, and obliterates the emo kid in the first point. Like, this ball is blazing off of Luna's racket and just smack right past the emo kid. The emo kid wasn't even, like, the emo kid plus the curse were not good enough to give him the reaction time to be able to deal with it. That's how bad this whole thing was, dude. So Luna looks up at the emo kid, giving her the dirtiest look ever, because I don't think the emo kid realized that Luna was one of the top players at the tennis camp, but he now realized that, he was probably not going to win this. I think he walked in with a lot of confidence, also trying to scare her off because of, he remembered, oh, this is the girl I put the curse on. Odds are he would have, if this was a different person, he would have put a curse on them beforehand. He would have walked up to the tennis net, whipped out his magic wand, and been like, blah, 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 you're now cursed or something, just to mess with their head. But since he's already done that, right, he was trying to use that as leverage. But anyways, the match continues, and the emo kid is getting destroyed. So at this point, the emo kid is down about 3-0, and they're only playing one set. Basically, in tennis, you play to 6 games. Whoever gets to 6 games first but win by 2 wins, and if you get to 6-6, you play a tiebreaker. But anyways, right, Luna's up 3-0, so absolutely smoking the emo kid. And it's Luna's serve, and she serves it in, and it is very clearly a winning shot. However, it was close, right? It wasn't it was clearly in, but it wasn't in by so far that you'd have to be crazy to say that it was out, right? And the emo kid was out. Because if you don't know, you make your own calls when you play tennis. There's no umpire unless you're really good. And this was a lower level. I think in the final match, the final match of their big tournament, they might have someone officiating it. But the emo kid was out. And Luna kind of looked at him no, dude, that wasn't. But she can't really do anything. So they keep playing, right? And Luna continues to crush this kid, continues to crush this fool, bro. And the emo kid continues to cheat. However, the emo kid is really only cheating when it's I don't know, kind of close. So if Luna hits a really good shot, but it's kind of close, the emo kid will just call it out. And this is super frustrating to Luna because she's losing a lot more points than she needs to, but she's still winning. It's currently 5-1. So if Luna wins one more game, then it's over, right? She wins the match and it's done with the emo kid. And at this point, right, I think other matches were kind of getting on with, and there were more people were finishing, so parents were kind of coming over and they were watching, and more of the staff officials decided to watch this game just because less matches were being played because more people were winning and losing and kind of less matches were going on. So at this point, right, it was 5-1 Luna, and there were a bunch of people watching at this point. And so Luna hits a shot that is very clearly a forehand winner. She hits it, smacks it. It's not even like the other ones that is kind of close. This one was so clearly in, it was in by 2 or 3 feet. And the emo kid is that was out, by the way. And Luna's dude, I've been letting you have some really close calls recently, but that was so clearly in, I don't know how else to say it. I give you the benefit of the doubt of all the other stuff, but that one was so clearly in, I can't let it stand. Luna basically slips, and she's nah, I'm done, bro. And the emo kid starts getting mad, and he's hey, you must respect my authority for point calling. And I guess technically you do, but then again, one of the camp people was watching the whole thing go down, and he started to pay more attention. So he's watching the emo kid, and the emo kid is getting so angry. So once again, they start another point. The emo kid takes that point, even though he's obviously losing, right? And Luna hits another shot, and the emo kid, it's not even that Luna's shot was good. The emo kid just shanks it into the net, he completely misses it. And the emo kid was oh, by the way, your shot was so out. And it was so clearly in. And Luna's dude, you can't just call everything out when you lose. And at this point, the emo kid said, I'm going to do what I want because it's my authority and you have to deal with it. And at this point, right, the camp counselor had kind of noticed what was going on and was all right, I got to come in here. I got to put a stop to this. So the camp counselor, starts to walk on the court. and is like, what's going on, guys? And the emo kid is so angry at this point because he's losing and he's just mad. And oh my God, this is where the emo kid snaps. So the camp counselor is walking over to the emo kid and is like, all right, can you explain what's going on here? Like, it looked like that point was very clearly in. Why did you call it out? And when the camp counselor says to the emo kid that it was clearly in and asked him, kind of questioned his call, the emo kid, already super salty and already molding super hard, being super angry already, just completely loses it, and he takes his racket and he goes, rah, and he whips around and he smashes it into the camp counselor. And like the camp counselor stumbles back and it's like, oh my God. Because like the racket had hit his arm. It had like broken the skin a little bit. So it was a little bloody and it wasn't that bad. He didn't break anything. He didn't like hit a major artery or something. But the racket smashed into the camp counselor and like kind of like broke into his skin. So the camp counselor starts yelling like, are you crazy? Like, why would you do that? I was literally asking about a call and you attacked me. And there was another camp counselor watching the whole thing and he starts walking in. But before they could do anything, you see this woman with kind of like a side part, like it kind of like the Karen haircut. Maybe she was a nice woman, but I'm just describing what I was told. By the way, the story was sent into my Instagram. Go ahead and follow me there. It's in the description. Even if you don't want to send in the story, just follow me there. It makes me feel good. But anyways, this woman walks on the court. She kind of looks like a Karen. Maybe she's super nice. I'm just saying it how it is, right? Walks on, grabs the emo kid by the back of by like the scruff of his shirt and drags him away. And he's like, ma'am. He's like, ma'am, I was winning. The emo kid literally had the audacity, as he was being dragged off court for attacking one of the camp counselors, to say that he was winning. What? Yeah, so the other camp counselor, I mean, the one that got hit with the rackets, like, I got to get this checked up. Like, I think I'm fine, but, like, I just want to make sure that, like, it didn't break anything farther because his skin was kind of bloodied up. And the other camp counselor, the one that was not attacked by the emo kid, walked up and said, hey, Luna, like, sorry you had to deal with that. We're giving you the win, obviously. And so sure enough, Luna went on. Luna didn't win the tournament, but, did pretty well. And the emo kid was nowhere to be seen after he's dragged off by his mom. Presumably, his mom was like, all right, like, we're done. Grabbed him and just dragged him off.
Click on the video on screen right now. I know you'll enjoy it. Just click it. Do it.
Today we got a story of this kid who thinks that he's a wizard and tries to put spells on the subscriber, bro. It's pretty funny, so sit back, relax, subscribe if you like stories, and let's call today's subscriber who sent in the story, let's call him Jacob. So Jacob's in middle school, I don't know exactly what grade, but there's this kid in his class that was always kind of known as like the strange kid, and he was kind of known as the strange kid because he was known as the kid who ran in, like last year, ran into the girls' bathroom and said, hi ladies, how's it going? And then obviously got escorted out by the security guard, sent to the principal's office where they were like, bro, what are you even doing? Like, that's super weird, yada yada. And from that day forward, he was kind of just known as the weird kid. So fast forward a year later, and this happened at PE. So Jacob still had PE class, aka physical education, for any of you guys who don't call it PE. And today, what they kind of did was they mixed it up every single day. They play a different sport or some different activity that was kind of like physical exercise or whatever, right? And today was dodgeball. And so basically, the class was split in two, and half the kids went on one side, one of the teams, and the other half of the kids went on the other team, and Jacob just happened to be on the weird kid's team. And we're no longer going to call him the weird kid, we're going to call him the wizard kid, as you will see quite soon why he's called the wizard kid. So anyways, right, they're playing dodgeball, and Jacob and the wizard kid are on the same team, and it's pretty close. Like, it was divided up randomly, however, it just happened to be like a super even, like, division. So anyways, right, Jacob's team, which is also the wizard kid's team, was starting to, like, fall behind a little bit. It was, like, I don't know, 5-4, and there was a lot of pressure being put on the team. And if you don't know, in dodgeball, at least the rules that they played by, you were allowed to deflect dodgeballs with your own dodgeball, and you wouldn't get in trouble. But if a stray dodgeball hit you in any part of your body before rolling on the ground, you were basically it, or you were tagged out. So anyways, this all went down when Jacob and, the wizard kid and the other two people on his team
were kind of like prepping and preparing for the other team to start throwing dodgeballs at them. And one of the team members on the other side threw a dodgeball really hard at Jacob. But Jacob was pretty good at deflecting the dodgeballs with his ball, so he kind of like outstretches his hand and he deflects the dodgeball. And you would be probably thinking, oh, this is a good thing, right? But no, because the dodgeball, yes, the one coming at Jacob, deflects off of Jacob's dodgeball. So Jacob is not it. However, the dodgeball deflects off of Jacob's dodgeball and hits the wizard kid. And unfortunately, by the rules that they played by, that was considered a point for the other team. So the wizard kid basically got tapped out. And Jacob felt really bad because, one, I mean, that's harming his own chances for his own team. But also, he's like, dang, I just got my own teammate out. So he looks at the wizard kid. He's like, bro, that was an accident, my fault. The wizard kid doesn't really respond, but Jacob just assumes that he was busy walking to the, where all the other team members were that were tagged out. But anyways, right, Jacob and the three remaining teammates actually end up winning. It's super close, and it's like Jacob has a 1v2 at the very end. But Jacob's probably one of the most skilled dodgeball players there. Will those skills transfer to other places in his life? Who knows, man. But at the end of the day, he was pretty good at that dodgeball. So, his whole team rejoices except the wizard kid, who is apparently still pretty mad. Jacob doesn't blame him, like the wizard kid wanted his glory too. The wizard kid was pretty good at dodgeball too, so maybe he would have been the one to do the miraculous 1v2. Who knows, man? But anyways, right, so PE is over and they're walking back to class. And Jacob is kind of walking by himself for a second, and the wizard kid runs up behind him and taps him on the shoulder, and Jacob turns around. And the wizard kid looks at him and says, bro, you just messed with a wizard. That was the worst decision of your life. Jacob at first is like, bro, what? Because he knew that this kid was weird, but he didn't know that this kid was pretended to be a wizard and put spells on people, right? So he was like, bro, I'm sorry, it was a mistake. Why would I want to get my own teammate out? And the wizard kid's like, because you wanted all the glory, right? You wanted all the glory for yourself, and you got it. And you will pay the price. You just didn't know that you were messing with an actual wizard. And once again, Jacob kind of just assumed that he misspoke the first time when he said, oh, I'm a wizard, bro. But then when the weird kid, aka the wizard kid, said it again, Jacob started to realize that no, this kid was not joking. He actually thought that he was a wizard. So Jacob's like, man, seriously, I didn't mean to do it. I wanted my team to win. I didn't care if I was to get out for my team to win, I would have done it. I seriously don't care. And Jacob wasn't even lying. Sure, the glory of being the one who came back from 1v2 to win for the team. Yeah, he's not gonna lie. It was pretty sweet. However, still wasn't worth, it still wasn't worth, it wouldn't be worth, losing, right? The glory, he would much rather win than, have the glory, taken away. But anyways, right, the next day rolls around, and this is when Jacob starts to understand why the wizard kid calls himself the wizard kid. Because he's sitting in class, and Jacob was kind of sitting towards the back of the class, and he happened to have a seat next to him open. And sure enough, right, he had one class with the weird wizard kid, right? And the wizard kid normally sat at the very, very, very front of the classroom, right? But this time, he walked all the way back and sat right next to Jacob. So Jacob right away kind of realized that this was not a coincidence. And the wizard kid is like, hey, do you want to see something? And Jacob's like, bro, what? Class is starting. Because the teacher had already started to, be like, all right, class, turn a page, whatever. And Jacob's like, bro, we got to pay attention. Sure, maybe after class, but not now. And the wizard kid's like, all right, too bad then. And Jacob's like, okay. So Jacob takes out his textbook and is starting to open to the page that he's supposed to be. And then, sure enough, right, the wizard kid says, hey, Jacob, turn, look at me. And Jacob's like, dude, what? And as he turns his face, the wizard kid blows a pile of glitter into his face. And Jacob starts coughing. He's like, bro, what did you do that for? And then the wizard kid starts going, oobily doobily, oobily doobily, just some real nonsense, pretending it's wizard speak or whatever. And he's like, you just got a curse put on you. And sure enough, right, the teacher looks over, and I think the teacher was just having a bad day, because the teacher's like, you two, go to the principal's office. You're being a distraction. And I mean, Jacob is kind of looking at the teacher like, I was just here, I was just sitting here, and the teacher's like, did you not hear me? Both of you go to the principal's office. kind of just because I think the teacher was having a bad day and just assumed that they were both being distracting and disrespectful and not paying attention. And the wizard kid is like, look, the curse is already working. And Jacob turns to the wizard kid and is like, bro, if the curse is working, why are you sent to the principal's office as well? And the wizard kid really didn't have a reply besides, the curse is working, bro. I'm sorry that you're so mad and can't accept it. Real quick, comment wizard down below if you want to heart in your comment. I'm going to be out most of the day, so I don't know how many comments I'll be able to heart, so please don't take it personally if you don't get a heart. But I will be looking for comments that say wizard to go ahead and heart them. And also, if you want to support the channel in the best way you possibly can, binge watch some videos either via playlists or in the recommended. And if you're doing so, please comment that you're doing so like these people so that I can heart your comment, reply and say thank you, and let me know what you're doing when you're binge watching the videos. It's always cool to know. Anyways, back to the story. So anyways, Jacob and the wizard kid are walking down the halls to the principal's office, and Jacob is just like, bro, like, I'm not trying to like mess with any of this. Like, I'm just trying to learn in class. I'm trying to like get my hours in. Why are you doing all this to me? And the wizard kid is like, because you decided to disrespect me in dodgeball. And I told you you'd suffer the consequences. It looks like one of my spells is working. Maybe if you're nice enough to me, I will issue a counter spell. And Jacob does not believe it. And it's like, bro, you're obviously not a wizard. Like, oh, a counter spell would do as much good as like an actual spell. And the wizard kid gets really butthurt at this. And it's like, I am a wizard. Can you not tell that like the curse I put on you sent us both to the principal's office? And Jacob goes on to say, as they're walking to the principal's office, bro, I don't believe it actually worked, because if the curse was actually effective, it would just be me going to the principal's office, not both of us. Sure enough, they eventually get to the principal's office, and the principal is kind of just like, all right, guys, I got a note from your teacher, or an email, I guess, not a note, that you were, like, being distracting in class and distracting others and distracting yourself. Like, can you just tell me what was going on? And the wizard kid is like, ha, I put a spell on him. And the principal's like, okay, and then turns to Jacob, like, why are you here? And Jacob's like, I don't know why I'm here. Like, I was just sitting here, and this kid decides to, like, quote unquote, put a spell on me, which basically just means blows, like, I don't know, not fairy dust, but like sparkles and stuff into my face and then say a bunch of nonsense. And then for some reason, I got in trouble too. And when like Jacob said for some reason, the wizard kid turns and says, not for some reason, because of the curse. And Jacob's like, you're not a wizard, bro. Like, there's no curse. And the principal's like, guys, I don't know what's going on. I think it's just like both you guys just go to detention later today and we'll be done with this. And Jacob's like, what? And the wizard kid is like, heh heh heh. The curse continues to work. And Jacob once again says, I will reiterate this, but if it was actually a curse, why are you receiving the same punishment as me? And the wizard kid is like, you're just mad because you're realizing the curse is real. And Jacob's just so mad at this point. He's like, bro, this is so stupid. So sure enough, Jacob and, the wizard kid, they go back to class, and, Jacob he's just not paying attention because he's just so mad that he has to go in and, he has to go to detention later that day. He's not trying to do that. And sure enough, time eventually comes around, and it's time for them to go to detention. And Jacob and the wizard kid, they get up and, they walk over and they go into detention, and there's like a few other kids there or whatever. And sure enough, right, Jacob sits on the back, and the wizard kid sits right next to him, and Jacob's like, bro, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to sit next to you. Can you please just leave me alone? And the wizard kid's like, well, if you don't believe in my spells, I'm going to keep putting spells on you till you believe it. And Jacob's like, fine, put as many spells as you want on me. Like, trust me. Anything that's happened today is just bad luck on my part. And the fact that you're getting the punishment too kind of proves to me that these spells aren't real. So the wizard kid's like, fine, well, I'm going to, how we're getting. So basically, they had a pretty big test that they were getting back. They did it about a week ago, but they were receiving their grades back the next day. So the wizard kid's like, fine, well, I'm going to put a spell on you. And because of the spell, you're going to fail the major test we're getting back. And Jacob's like, well, I know I did pretty well on it because I knew the answers to basically every question, and the teacher's already graded them, so it's not like the grade will be changed, so sure, let's, put a spell on it, right? And Jacob's like, well, how about you also put a spell on your test to make you do well so that I'll fail and you get an A. And if that actually happens, both of those things happening, right? I'll believe that you're a wizard. I'll bow down. I'll accept your glory as a ruler or whatever, right? The wizard kid's like, fine, like, fair enough. And the wizard kid, like, takes out a little stick and starts waving it around as like, biddly boodly, goodly billy. It just says something like nonsense or whatever. And so at this point, Jacob was like, all right, well, this is going to prove to this kid that, like, his wizard powers are fake because I know for certain that, I did well. However, Jacob is starting to feel like, wait, because remember, dude's in middle school, don't make fun of him, but he's like, wait, what if this kid actually does have wizard powers? What if this kid can actually put a spell on me, right? And he's like, no, that's ridiculous, Jacob, come on now. But Jacob's like, wait, did I just give myself an F? But then he realizes, wait, no, like, come on now, like, okay, obviously, I did well on this test. And the kid's gonna realize tomorrow that he's a fraud. Sure enough, eventually, detention or, I don't know, whatever they were in, it ends, and the next day rolls around, and they go back to the class where they both had a major assessment being passed back. And this time, right, Jacob makes sure that the wizard kid sits right next to him. He's like, all right, well, we're gonna see if your spell actually works. And the wizard kid is like super, I don't know, he's like, super full of himself. He's like, I don't know why you'd want to fail an assignment you work so hard on. Like, just because, like, you wanted to test if I was actually a wizard. Like, that's so ridiculous. You just played yourself, bro. Stuff like that. But sure enough, right, the teacher eventually goes around and starts handing back the tests. And the first test that was handed out was Jacob's. And, Jacob got an A on the assessment. So he takes the paper, flips it around, and shows it to the wizard kid. He's like, oh, looks like your spell didn't work. And he's like, well, so, and Jacob's like, all right, just admit it, checkmate, I got you. And he's like, well, the problem is actually that, I just didn't do the spell properly. And Jacob's like, all right, well, did you do the spell properly for your test? And the wizard kid's like, oh, yes, 100%, I'm getting an A on this. And to be fair, Jacob was definitely kind of like, he was kind of being a little risky here because the wizard kid maybe was also like really smart or cheated or something, but for some reason, maybe the wizard kid actually did get an A. But Jacob was kind of like assuming that the kid was going to be too busy doing spells to actually study. So sure enough, the teacher hands back the wizard kid's paper, and you could already tell that the kid did not do well because the teacher handed back every single test face up except for the wizard kid's test, handed that one face down. And yeah, sure enough, the wizard kid flips over the paper and Jacob is watching and there's a big F in a red circle. And the wizard kid, after seeing the F, quickly flips over his paper again and is like, look at that, I actually got an A. Looks like my spells are right. And Jacob's like, bro, I saw the F. Like, I know you failed this. You're probably too busy doing the spells to actually study. The wizard kid's like, no, bro, I got an A. And, like, I think Jacob did this quick enough that the wizard kid was just not able to react. Because sure enough, right, Jacob reaches over and quickly flips over the wizard kid's paper. And there's a big, massive F and a circle on it, being like, oh, so you got an A now? The wizard kid's like, that's just a typo. You can ask the teacher. And the wizard kid kind of just said that because, like, obviously Jacob's not allowed to say, hey, what did this random classmate get on this major assignment? Like, the teacher's going to be like, mind your own beeswax, bro. Like, obviously. So Jacob's like, all right, wizard kid, you proved to me that you are not a wizard. He's like, no, I'm going to keep putting spells on you till, like, you realize. And, so for the rest of the week, the wizard kid would come in and blow, like, bubbles on him or, like, I don't know, fairy dust or all this kind of stuff and, like, say a bunch of random stuff. But yeah, Jacob did not have any other negative side effects that happened that week. And the wizard kid eventually realized that, yeah, he was not a wizard and that he was not able to convince Jacob that he was a wizard. So eventually, the dude stopped and, Jacob was able to get back to his normal life and would not be sent to the principal's office because someone put a spell on him
Click on the
anymore.
video on screen right now. I know you'll enjoy it. Just click it. Do it. Okay, how do I introduce a story like this, man? I mean, you guys can read. You've read the title. All I can say is strap in, buckle up, because this is going to be quite the ride. Subscribe if you're new and you enjoy stories. And let's call today's subscriber who submitted this, let's call this guy Mason. So this all happened one day when Mason was in class, and Mason was in 4th grade when this whole thing went down. And there's a kid who, once again, kind of like wore the same creeper shirt every single day. And it was like the creeper hoodie, and really that's not a big deal. They're like, if you want to wear the creeper hoodie, I don't really care. However, we're just going to call him the Minecraft kid, right? Because of the creeper hoodie. He wore it every single day, and maybe, right? Maybe he has a closet full of like 18 different varieties of the creeper hoodie. Or maybe his mom does a load of laundry every single day. Or maybe he's just wearing the same creeper hoodie every single day. I mean, you guys can believe whatever you want, but I think one of those three are a little bit more likely than the other. But anyways, right, so there's this kid called the Minecraft kid because he wore the creeper hoodie every single day. And he was a little bit strange. And there's nothing wrong with you being a little bit strange. Like, I'm a little bit strange. I mean, I run a YouTube channel, man. I mean, that's already putting me in the strange category, unfortunately. But hey, man, I love the YouTube too much to like drop it or anything like that. But sure enough, this all happened one day when the Minecraft kid was in class with Mason. And the Minecraft kid raised his hand. And another thing you need to know about the Minecraft kid is he would take bathroom breaks like 6 times per class. And I don't know about you, but back in the day, I definitely used to go to the bathroom to like go on my phone or just take a break from the class. However, I would be very like strategic with it. I wouldn't do it every single day. I'd do it like every other day. I would make sure that I wasn't away for too long, like maybe 5 minutes max. But this kid, bro, would just abuse the bathroom break button. He was like spamming it, just try to like, I don't know, man. But every single day, I can go to the bathroom, minimum 2 times, maximum like 6 times. That's what I'm told at least. And sure enough, once again, one day, the Minecraft kid raises his hand for the 3rd time in class. And this has been going on for months. And I just think at this point, the teacher kind of just snapped. And he looks at the Minecraft kid. He's like, yes. And the Minecraft kid says, hey, can I go to the bathroom? And here's the thing, right? The teacher should not have reacted in the way that he reacted because maybe this kid has like IBS or something. Maybe he has to go to the bathroom like a ton per day. However, if he did, it was not registered with the nurse, or even if it was, the nurse did not communicate that properly to the teacher, which she probably should have, or he probably should have, just because, I don't know, if a kid's going to the bathroom 7 times per day, that might be a little suspicious to the teacher. However, the teacher was kind of just assuming that the kid was just going in to like go on his phone or whatever. And that was probably the case, but I mean, you really don't know. But after the Minecraft kid says like, hey, can I go to the bathroom for like the 3rd time? The teacher's like, you know what? No, you can't go to the bathroom. And the whole class kind of turns around and is like, wait, whoa, pause. Like, hold up now. Like, this kid's been asking you to go to the bathroom like 7 times a day for the last 6 months. And now you're saying no? Like, what changed, man? And the teacher's like, you're going to have to wait till the end of class. You've been going way too much, way too often. I think you're missing too much of classwork, right? And the Minecraft kid was not happy to hear this. For all we know, maybe he actually did have to go to the bathroom. But Mason, to be fair, right? Mason has gone to the bathroom. He's the subscriber who submitted this story. He's gone to the bathroom at times when the Minecraft kid has been in there. And Mason can hear the volume from his iPhone up all the way. The Minecraft kid is in there playing like Flappy Bird or watching TikToks or whatever, man. He's just going on his phone. Maybe he also has to go to the bathroom, but the Minecraft kid obviously definitely was kind of like, most likely was abusing it just to go to the bathroom. But sure enough, the Minecraft kid raises his hand again. He's like, I gotta go. And the teacher says, like, Minecraft kid, you've gone like 6 times during class every single day for the last 6 months. You're missing out on class time. Please try and like conserve your like bathroom breaks. I will let you go, but just give it a second. I just can't let you go and disrupt the class like 1,000 times every single day. And the Minecraft kid was getting kind of angry. And he didn't say anything. He wasn't like, no, I really gotta go. And the Minecraft kid also didn't just stand up. Unfortunately, I think the Minecraft kid watched a little bit too much South Park. If you guys know what I'm talking about, there's an episode of South Park, which is a TV show kind of aimed for adults, so I wouldn't go search this up if you're too young, but there's this kid named Cartman. And one time, Cartman needed to basically go to the principal's office, so he decided to do number 2 on the desk of a teacher. And I think the Minecraft kid got a little bit too inspired by Cartman, because the Minecraft kid is like, you're going to want, like, I need to go to the bathroom, and you're going to regret it if you don't let me. And the teacher kind of turns around kind of sharply and looks at him and says, like, you shouldn't be threatening people. Like, that's a very bad thing to do. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. He said, you know what? Just because you're threatening me and said in such a threatening voice, "You're not allowed to go to the bathroom for the rest of the class." And this only made the Minecraft kid even more upset. And Mason is just sitting here watching this back and forth. And Mason kind of feels a little bit for the Minecraft kid because maybe he really needs to go. Maybe the first 2 times, yeah, I mean, it is kind of karma if you were just going to the bathroom 6 times per day just to go on your phone. However, right, I mean, maybe he really has to go, man. And it's kind of cruel to like not let someone go to the bathroom when they really need to. But he did just go like 5 minutes ago and 10 minutes before that. So, I don't know. Anyways, right, Mason was sitting there, and the Minecraft kid raises his hand for a final time and says, "You're going to let me go or you're going to regret this." And once again, the teacher's like, "If you threaten me again, you're not going to be allowed to go to the bathroom ever again when you're in my class." And at this point, the whole class is like, oh, I don't know if they're actually like hyping up like that, but things were getting legit and they could feel it for sure. They're like, "Oh, dang, dude, like stuff's getting real," right? And sure enough, the Minecraft kid says, "Very well, have it your way." The teacher kind of like has a little bit of a smile, but quickly brushes it off, probably because he felt like he won that discussion. Like, all right, well, this kid who's been abusing the bathroom system has lost, and I won as a teacher and I asserted my dominance. However, right, dominance was not asserted. In fact, I don't even know how to explain what's about to happen, so I'm going to do my best. Bear with me. Because the Minecraft kid, he kind of like stands up. And the teacher is currently facing the board, so the teacher doesn't notice the Minecraft kid stand up. However, Mason, the subscriber who submitted this story, as well as a bunch of other people. By the way, Mason submitted this to my Instagram. It's in the description. You should go follow it, even if you're not going to go submit stories. Give me a big number and make me feel good. Anyways, Mason is watching this whole thing go down, and he sees that the Minecraft kid stands up from his desk. And then the Minecraft kid stands on his chair. And then the Minecraft kid stands on his desk. And at this point, almost half the class is turned around watching the Minecraft kid because he's making enough of a commotion. In the next, YouTube, please be nice. YouTube, man, I'm going to describe the next thing without making you mad. So the Minecraft kid, well, he drops his pants. He drops his pants. And he says, "Teacher?" And the teacher turns around and is about to be like Minecraft kid for the last time. And he turns around and is like, "What? What? Huh?" And the Minecraft kid is like, "Teacher, I told you you would regret not letting me go to the bathroom." And just to put it very, just to be point blank, just to be straight up, just getting right to the point. Yeah, he just number 2 on the desk, man. It wasn't like anything crazy, right? It was pretty, just a little bit, but yeah. And everyone in the class starts like screaming. Like some of the girls are like, "Ah!" Some of the guys are like, "Yo, what? That's disgusting, dude." And the teacher's like, "Minecraft kid, what on earth are you doing?" And the Minecraft kid's like, "I told you you should let me go to the bathroom, dude. Now you're just paying the consequences." The Minecraft kid was like feeling all full of himself. And the teacher was like, "Go to the principal's office now." And I don't think the Minecraft kid totally realized what was going on. And the Minecraft kid starts to panic. And the Minecraft kid looks to his left and looks to his right. And when the Minecraft kid looks to his right, you know who he sees? He sees the subscriber. He sees Mason. And he makes eye contact with Mason. And Mason is looking directly at the Minecraft kid and is thinking to himself, "Oh my God, what? Wow." But then he's like, "Wait, why is this kid making eye contact with me?" And he's like, "Mason made me do it. He dared me." And the teacher's like, "Mason." Mason's just like, "Dude, I swear I was just sitting here. What do you mean?" And the teacher's like, you know what? Minecraft kid, Mason, and anyone else involved, go to the principal's office right now. And Mason is just like, why? So he gets up, and because he's not going to like fight with his teacher when the teacher's literally going through a massive rage moment. And, he starts walking up, and he walks up to the Minecraft kid. He's like, "Dude, I don't even know who you are." The Minecraft kid's like, just doesn't say anything. So he walks up to the principal's office, and he sits down, and the principal's like, "What happened?" And Mason explains the side of the story, that he was just a bystander sitting there. And then, eventually the Minecraft kid walks in, because he had to, it wasn't like he could, okay, I'm not going to explain why it took him longer, but he got there, right? And sure enough, the principal's like, "Minecraft kid, why would you do that? And the Minecraft kid's like explains the side, and then she's like, and why is Mason here? And the Minecraft kid, who kind of panic blamed him to kind of like lesser the punishment on him, is like, Mason dared me to do it. And Mason's like, dude, I don't even know who you are. You're just in my class. And the principal's like, I don't know, Mason, why would he lie about this? Like, there's literally nothing for him to gain. And Mason's like, dude, I don't know. Real quick, comment Minecraft down below if you want to harden your comment. That will be the secret word of the day. And I'll try and heart as many of those comments as possible. And also, if you want to help us get to 600,000 faster, binge watch the videos. YouTube really likes promoting my channels when you guys like binge watch a bunch of my videos. So after this video, or when you have the time to sit down and watch a bunch of videos, I've made playlists. You can just like go to my channel page and let me know in the comments when you do this, so I can heart it and say thank you and just give a little bit of appreciation for you guys really helping me out. And I really do appreciate it. Anyways, the story gets even more insane, so stay tuned. So anyways, right, back to the story. Mason is in a position where he was just dragged into this. Honestly, Mason to this day doesn't totally understand why the Minecraft kid even singled him out. Mason and the Minecraft kid weren't close friends. They didn't even really know each other. And Mason just assumes that he randomly looked around and picked someone who he just happened to remember the name of and blamed them just to kind of like lesser the punishment on him. In his mind, or I guess in his panic, the idea was like, oh, if I blame someone else and say that they forced me to do it, my punishment will be lesser, right? Which is like, bro, why? Why would you do that? But anyways, sure enough, the principal, unfortunately, is not believing Mason, because Mason is explaining that he doesn't even know this kid and he has no idea why he would lie. And the principal's kind of doesn't believe him, because he's like, Mason, like, why would the Minecraft kid lie about this, right? It just doesn't make any sense. And the principal's like, well, I guess I just have to make a judgment call in this situation. And Mason, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to give you a punishment too, because I don't believe you. And Mason is just like, what? Are you serious? And then Mason said, even if I did like dare him to do something ridiculous, it's still up to him. Like, I didn't, for the record, and I stand by that because I don't even know this kid. But if someone was to, why would that even matter? And the principal's like, so you're admitting it? And Mason's like, no, I'm just saying it'd be stupid even if I did. But it's double stupid because I didn't even do it. And the principal's like, don't say stupid to me. Mason's like, I'm in 4th grade. And also, this is double stupid. What can I say? So eventually, right, the principal's like, all right, well, I'm going to have to call both your mothers and explain what happened. And Mason's just like, dude, this is the most ridiculous day of my life. So sure enough, the principal calls up both their mothers saying, hey, both your sons got in trouble. If you're not busy, can you please come in? And the Minecraft kid's mom was busy at the time, but Mason's mom kind of either had the day off or for some reason wasn't really needing to like be wherever she was. And she said, yeah, I'll come in right away. Maybe she was busy and she thought that this was a good idea to go see like what happened to her son. So Mason's mom comes in and she's like, looks at Mason with this look of like, what have you done? And Mason looks at her with these like eyes of like, bro, I don't know what's going on, confusion, whatever, right? The principal is like, all right, hi, Miss Mason's mom, or, whatever. Well, I'm so glad you could come. And the principal explains what happened. And then she kind of explains how she doesn't believe Mason. And Mason's mom started with a look of concern, and then she almost got a look of like annoyance. And the look of annoyance grew and grew the more the principal told the story. And Mason was looking at this and was like, okay, is my mom on my side, or is the look of annoyance because she's so annoyed with me? Either way, this is just the worst situation ever. So sure enough, right, by the end of the story, Mason's mom's like, why am I here? The principal's like, well, didn't you hear, like, your son, supposedly dared him to do it. And Mason's mom, like, first of all, my son disagrees with that statement. And you don't really have any proof, but let's say he even did. Why would that matter? And the principal kind of was a little shocked. And Mason's mom's like, isn't it like a cliche saying for parents to be like, if your friend jumped off a bridge, would you as well? Like, are you really just supposed to do whatever the popular kid does? And then Mason's mom's like, even if my son did, which I'm not convinced he did, dared him to do what he did on the desk, right? Why is that my son's fault? Is this kid not like able to function by himself? Is the blame 100% not on, the Minecraft kid anymore? Is any of the blame really supposed to be on my son? And the principal's like, well, I'm sorry you feel this way, but I've made up my mind. Like, your son's going to be suspended for the day. He can come back tomorrow, but he can't come back today. And the Mason's mom is like, are you serious? Like, really? And she's like, yeah. And then Mason's mom's like, all right, what punishment did the Minecraft kid get? And the principal said, well, we're doing equal punishment. And Mason's mom's like, you can't be serious, man. You can't be serious. And the principal's like, I'm sorry you disagree, but this is the punishment. So Mason's mom's like, Mason, come with me. And Mason's like, oh, I can't tell if my mom's mad or not. So Mason gets up, kind of all scared or whatever, and he sits in the car. And Mason's mom's like, well, this was unexpected, but Mason, today you got a day off. It is your vacation day because that punishment is ridiculous. And then and Mason's like, okay, she's on my side. And Mason's mom is like, Mason, please be honest. Did you dare him to do it? And Mason's like, Mom, I promise. Since look, it looks like you're not angry at me either way. Why would I lie about this? Because I didn't do it. I don't even know who this kid is. Why would I dare him to do something so ridiculous? Mason's mom's like, yeah, that's what I thought. But even if you did, like, who cares? And this punishment's ridiculous. So you and we're going to get ice cream. Because today you learned a very good lesson. Sometimes there are rules that are ridiculous. And you'll be punished. But stay true to your convictions, man. Stay true to your convictions. So Mason and his mom went and got ice cream. And I don't think the Minecraft kid's mom was as excited or as pleased with her son, but click on the video on screen right now. I know you'll enjoy it. Just click it, do it. Today I get a story time of another one of these Minecraft kids deciding to fight back against his babysitter in a quite unconventional way, you might say. I mean, I bet you can read the title right now. So yeah, with that being said, sit back, relax, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's call today's subscriber who submitted this story to me, let's call him Ryan. So Ryan was friends with this kid who really liked Minecraft. So we're calling him the Minecraft Kid because that always works in the title, and you guys like the Minecraft Kid stories, and I like telling them. But anyways, right, Ryan was invited over to this kid who he didn't know that well, and we're just going to call him the Minecraft Kid. So anyways, right, Ryan was invited over to the Minecraft Kid's house to, well, you know, play Minecraft with him. The idea was he was going to go over on a Friday night and play some Bed Wars with this kid. Honestly, sounds like a pretty sick Friday night, if you know what I mean. However, he didn't really know much about this kid, and he only kind of just started to know him because Ryan's mom and the Minecraft Kid's mom became friends like a couple months ago when they were both volunteering for something, or maybe they just met. I don't know why, but Ryan's mom and the Minecraft Kid's mom became friends, and for that reason, you know, Ryan's mom's like, oh, I have a son about your son's age, they should totally hang out. And since Ryan knew nothing about the Minecraft Kid, at their first like interaction, which wasn't like a sleepover playdate type thing, he was like, so what do you like to do? And he's like, I like to play Minecraft. He's like, cool, do you like to play Bed Wars? And he's like, yeah, it's my favorite game. So they bonded over it. So anyways, Ryan was heading over to the Minecraft Kid's house. And Ryan's mom told him, hey, just so you know, the Minecraft Kid's mom is not going to be there. She's going to be out for something. However, they hired a babysitter, and the Minecraft Kid's mom should be back by like 10 or 11. And Ryan was like, all right, that's totally fine. I don't really care. It's not like we would have been hanging out with the Minecraft Kid's mom and having her play in our Bed Wars trios or something, man. So it's fine. So Ryan gets over to the Minecraft Kid's house, and when he gets there, no one greets him at the door. He kind of stands there for a second, and he knocks on it, and he stands there for like a little more time, and he hears noises coming from upstairs. And it's a two-story house, and there's a window right above him, and the window is open, and he can hear noises. And you know what noises he hears? He hears block placing noises. He hears golden apple eating noises. He hears bed break noises. He's like, wait a minute. Bro, the Minecraft Kid is playing Bed Wars right now. And, you know, Ryan was thinking that he would have yelled up to the Minecraft Kid, but the door eventually opened, and presumably the babysitter, or who we thought the babysitter was, which, no, it was the babysitter. That isn't, like, the big secret of the story, but the babysitter comes and, you know, opens the door and says, hey, so sorry, Minecraft Kid's upstairs. I'm, you know, making dinner right now for you guys. It'll be ready in, like, 30 minutes, so make sure you're not in the middle of the game in, like, half an hour. And Ryan's like, all right, that sounds pretty cool. So he goes up the stairs, he opens the door, and the Minecraft Kid's like, what's good, bro? I'm in the middle of a game. Get your like laptop out and set your stuff up, and we'll go into like doubles in just a second. And so sure enough, and by the way, guys, Bed Wars it's a Minecraft game where you can like, it's fun. You should go look it up and play it maybe. But just for context, it's a video game on Minecraft. But anyways, right, so he sets up his gaming setup or whatever. He gets that all ready, And yeah, sure enough, the Minecraft kid eventually wins his game. Great work, Minecraft kid. Not so great work at later the night, as you can tell by the title. But yeah, anyways, Ryan and the Minecraft kid, they start playing some Bed Wars duos. Life's pretty good. And that's until they're in the middle of a game and it's really, really intense, right? It's getting really down to the wire. If you know a thing or two about Bed Wars, all the beds have been broken and they're really just both of them. Ryan and the Minecraft kid are super stacked. They have their golden apples. They have their diamond armor. Yes, they sweated to diamond armor. And the two people that were remaining were about as good as they were. And they were playing for all the marbles at this point, man. This was pretty intense. And that's when the babysitter yells, "All right, guys, time for dinner." And the Minecraft kid's like, "Well, 1 second." Yells down that, and Ryan and the Minecraft kid are like, "All right, how are we gonna do this? Do we go in? Do we wait?" And the Minecraft kid is a big fan of like camping, which in a video game, when you're camping, that basically just means that like you're staying on defensive ground and you're waiting for the opponent to come to you, which in Bed Wars, if you're super, super stacked, that can kind of give you the advantage because you can always drop golems. You got hometown advantage if you have the regen thing. Camping is an okay strategy, super late game, but that also means that the game's going to be a long time. And Ryan says to the Minecraft kid, "Hey man, do you think we should like be aggressive and we should be the one attacking them because like, our food is like dinner is ready. Do you think we should just go do that for the sake of doing that just so we can, and we'll play another game when we come back?" And the Minecraft kid's like, "No, like I know that we'll win. Like we have prot 4 diamond, they don't. But if we go to them, there's a chance that they knock us off, we fall while going, they fireball us over. It's just a lot more dangerous to go over." He said, "We're staying here." And Ryan, who doesn't really care, he's like, "All right, man, sure, we'll stay here." And then, a minute later, the babysitter says, "Guys, you don't want dinner to get cold?" The Minecraft kid's like, "1 second." Which it wasn't going to be a second. Like, it was going to be probably like 5-10 minutes on average remaining of the game. And Ryan and the Minecraft kid were waiting it out. And the thing was, the other team was camping too, which basically means that they were both just collecting gear and such, and they weren't attacking each other. So then the babysitter was, yelled up again, like, "Guys, like, come on, like, I made you something. Like, I told you not to be in the middle of a game." And he's like, once again, the Minecraft kid, instead of saying, "Hey, I'm so sorry, can we be down there in 5 to 10 minutes? Like, I apologize." He's like, "1 second!" He just keeps yelling down 1 second. And the babysitter kind of did something that she probably shouldn't have. Like, it just wasn't that deep, but I think the babysitter was kind of getting mad that, they just were refusing to come down when, she was sweating out some good food or whatever. So the babysitter, what she does is she goes to the Wi-Fi router, and yes, you can probably already guess, unplugs it and replugs it, which basically, if your Wi-Fi, at least in my case, whenever my Wi-Fi is super slow or just kind of sucks, I go to the Wi-Fi modem or router or whatever. Modem? What am I saying? I go to the Wi-Fi router, and I think I combined router and modem. My fault. I go to my Wi-Fi router or box, unplug it, replug it. Wi-Fi's down for like 5 minutes, but then it comes back nice and fresh and clean. However, the Wi-Fi goes down. So basically, right, Ryan and the Minecraft kid are in the middle of a match, and like they start to go to like buy something from the store, and Ryan's clicking on it, but it's not registering it. And Ryan's like, dude, I think I'm disconnecting. And at this point, right, if you disconnect, you lose. And the Minecraft kid's like, no, it's not working. Why can't I place blocks? Why are things not registering? And then both at the same time, they get a message, like, not kicked, but like, it disconnects from Hypixel, like no connection. And the Minecraft kid's like, no! Starts slamming his fist. And Ryan, who doesn't really care, and looks at the Minecraft kid, and the Minecraft kid was like, "I was on a 99 win streak. I won 99 games in a row. I was going to go to 100. I've been recording the whole thing. I was going to clip it and post it on YouTube, man. I was about to get 100. Basically, he was pretty upset. So Ryan and the Minecraft kid, Ryan just looks at the Minecraft kid and be like, "All right, man, I'm so sorry. Like, we'll grind it out tonight. We'll get you back to at least halfway," which was a lie. They were not going to play, nevertheless, win 50 games in a row. But, Ryan's just trying to calm the air. And he's like, "Yeah, man, don't worry. We'll get back to it." So they walk down, and the babysitter is waiting there. And she's like, "Guys, like, I asked you to come down. If you weren't going to come down, you should have at least told me. I would have put it back in the stove. Now the food is cold. It really took me, turning off the Wi-Fi to get you guys to come down. Teenagers these days. Or not teen, I guess. She's a teenager. She's the babysitter. I guess preteens these days. And that's when Ryan is like, oh my God, she turned off the Wi-Fi. That's why we frozen the game. And Ryan looks over at the Minecraft kid, whose face, he just stood there. Like he's been frozen by like a spell that turns you to stone. He's just frozen there, looking at her. His like jaw starts to slack a little bit, like, oh my God. Oh my God, it was you. It was you who got in between me and the 100 Bed Wars win streak. Real quick comment, Minecraft, if you made it this far into the video, as that will be the secret word of the day. And if you want to support the channel, as always, just go ahead and binge watch several videos or a bunch of videos whenever you have the time. And let me know in the comments if you do this, because it really does support me more than you can probably even imagine. It boosts the channel. YouTube likes watch time anyways. So right now, remember, Ryan and the Minecraft kid just lost in a very important game for the Minecraft kid. He almost got a 100 win streak, which is pretty impressive, I'm not going to lie. But unfortunately, the babysitter, who kind of like overreacted a little bit, got mad and unplugged the Wi-Fi, and that made them lose the game that they probably were actually going to win. And so when they walk down, they have no idea that the babysitter was the reason why they lost the game, until the babysitter is like, oh, guys, like, I really had to pull the Wi-Fi plug to get you guys down here. Like, crazy how, like, preteens are these days, or kids on their phones too much, like one of that, like, old man behavior type thing, even though this girl was, like, 17 or something. And the Minecraft kid is just so angry. He's like, you're the reason I lost my Minecraft game. And she's like, sorry, like, should have come down faster, or should have at least told me. And she goes to sit down, and Ryan is also like, all right, well, this is going to be a little awkward, but whatever. I'm still going down to sit down, like, whatever. Like, he's not going to react that ridiculously. How do I say this? Yeah, no, he acted ridiculously. The Minecraft kid waits until the girl sits, or the babysitter, she's 17. I guess she's still like a girl, I guess. She is, I don't know. She waits till the babysitter, right, sits down. And when the babysitter sits down, the Minecraft kid runs up to her, grabs a chair. This is like the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Grabs a chair, turns around, pulls down his pants, and rips up. Dude, I'm 19 years old, and I'm telling you about Minecraft kid revenge farting in someone's face. I'm doing it. I'm going through with it. I'm already I'm too far in the story to turn around. The Minecraft kid, after getting on the chair, ripping down his pants, farts in the babysitter's face, directly her eye while it was open. If you don't know, the reason why the fart smells bad, because there's a lot of gross particles in it. And when the gross particles get into your eye can get infected, and it can be really bad. So the babysitter legitimately falls out of her chair and starts, like, screaming. Because, like, because apparently he really ripped one. He really ripped one, man. And her eye was open. And it was really close. And Ryan was like, well, so this kid and I have one thing in common. We like Bed Wars. And we have nothing else in common. And this will probably be the last time I ever hang out with him. And, yeah, so the babysitter's like, what did you do? Why would you do that? Like, that's so ridiculous and disgusting. Like, my eye, it burns. Oh, my God. Oh, my eye, it burns. Like, why would you do that? Like, And Ryan looks at the Minecraft kid, and the Minecraft kid is literally laughing. He's like, and Ryan's like, oh my God, this kid's, because the thing was, Ryan's thinking to himself, dude, this kid must do this all the time, because, like, you're not just going to think to yourself, wow, I'm so angry at this person. Let me wait until they sit down, grab a chair, stand on it, turn around, pull down my pants, and fart directly point blank into their face. That's just not something that comes to you in the heat of the moment. That I mean, maybe I'm just built different from all you guys. I really don't know, but that definitely doesn't come to me. But sure enough, right, the babysitter eventually gets up, and Ryan and the Minecraft kid look at her face, and her left eye is red and swollen. And Ryan's like, oh my God, that is definitely not a coincidence. and the babysitter is like, move out of my way. And she moves past both of them, goes and finds the home phone, because I guess her phone wasn't on or something, and legitimately calls 911, an ambulance. Which, okay, that was maybe a little excessive, but maybe I wouldn't drive if my eyes were impaired and I thought that they were going to be infected and it would have been bad. And she walks back in the room and she's like angry, but also very clearly in pain, right? And she's like, her hand is over her eye and she's like, you, like, why would you do that? The Minecraft kid's like, well, I was actually on a 99 win streak and you pulled the plug and I lost my 99 wins. She's like, and you projectiled all your stuff out of your butt. Oh God, how can I have a straight face and tell the story? Anyway, she's like, and you probably gave me a raging infection. My eye burns. Like, if I lose sight, I'm suing your She was getting mad. And eventually, right, the ambulance does come. She explains the ridiculousness of the situation. The guy, she sits in the ambulance, drives to the hospital. They check her out or whatever. But remember, this is from Ryan's perspective, so we don't exactly know what the doctor says. Ryan's mom, who got really invested in the situation afterwards, said that, like, the doctor's, like, her eye is fine now, but the doctor said that, like, it really could have gone south if she didn't go there, like, immediately, which is insane. So anyways, right, Ryan and the Minecraft kid are legitimately just in this house alone, and that's when the Minecraft kid's mom comes back early, super angry and upset, because the babysitter sent a message to, his mom explaining everything and why that she had to leave the premises immediately. So the Minecraft kid's mom had to leave whatever she was doing to come back, and she was like, walks in, she's like, you, turns to the Minecraft kid, like, you did it, you pulled a face fart on someone again, we've already talked about this. And Ryan, who is still there, he's already texted his mom to come pick him up, is just like, again? I mean, he had a sneaking suspicion that this was not a first-time thing. As I said, in the heat of the moment, you don't think to, use your butt as a weapon. But he's like, again? This is a thing? And the Minecraft kid's like, but Mom, I was on a 99 Bed Wars win streak. And she's like, that's enough. No more Bed Wars for you forever. And the Minecraft kid's like, no, Mom, I promise I won't fart in anyone else's face again. What am I doing with my life? Anyways, right, so Ryan's mom comes, and Ryan's mom's like, hey, so sorry, things were weird today. Like, I'm just gonna pick Ryan up. Thank you so much for having him over. Ryan, come with me now. And, Ryan walks over and goes in the back seat of the car, and Ryan's mom is like, so, do you want to elaborate on, I need to pick you up right now. My friend farted in the babysitter's eye, and now she's at the hospital. And Ryan did elaborate. And it really didn't add any clarity to the situation. In fact, Ryan's mom just became more
Click on the
confused.
video on screen right now. I know you'll enjoy it. Just click it. Do it.
How's it going, everyone? Hope you're having a good day, because today we have a pretty crazy story of this Minecraft kid who believes that after playing Minecraft that he needs to go back to his caveman roots. And going back to his caveman roots literally just meant not showering, I guess. And he thinks that this will get him all the ladies. And let me just say that that may or may not be the case, but you'll have to wait and see. So anyways, sit back, relax, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and let's just jump right into this. So we're going to call the subscriber who submitted this story Alex. And by the way, my Instagram is in the description. It's also Connor Pugs. Go follow me there, and you can submit stories like this to me on there. I'll get to them when I get to them. And anyways, so Alex was in 8th grade, and he had this kid in his class who we're going to call Ben. Yes, we're bringing back the name Ben for random secondary characters. And anyways, right, Ben was like, he wasn't like super into Minecraft. Actually, he knew nothing of Minecraft until like a couple weeks before the story. And that's when he was introduced to the game by one of Alex's friends. We don't need a name, right? And anyways, right, Ben got super, super into it. Alex doesn't really know how Ben didn't know what Minecraft was. Like, it wasn't like it wasn't like Ben wasn't on the internet. Like, I think Ben might have heard of it, but he didn't know what it was. So when one of Alex's friends introduced Minecraft to him, Ben basically disappeared for like 2 weeks. like he went to school and everything, but he stopped being on social media, disappeared as soon as he could, like didn't show up to anything. He was just in his room for as long as he could playing Minecraft. And I don't mean like, I don't know, like parkour servers like this or player versus player servers. I mean, he was playing like vanilla, straight up, your traditional Minecraft. That's all he was doing, and he was in love with it. And 3 weeks later, he came into school one day, and he's like, Alex, buddy, I need to tell you something, a revelation I've come to. And Alex is like, yeah, what's good, dude? And Ben's like, brother, we need to return to the caveman days. I was playing Minecraft a couple days ago, and I came to a realization that we need to return to our caveman roots. And I have started that already. Alex is like, what do you mean by that? And at this time, Alex was noticing quite a pungent aroma coming from Ben, right? You know, he didn't want to say anything. He didn't want to be mean. He didn't want to be, you know, cruel or anything. But let's just say that, you know, Benny old boy was not smelling the greatest. He was kind of, he had this essence, this odor, this aroma, some might call it, that wasn't the greatest, to put it lightly, right? So anyways, Alex or Ben goes on to say, yeah, so I've been playing Minecraft, and it just feels so good. It feels so natural. I mean, yeah, playing a block game feels natural, but whatever. I like Minecraft. I'm not saying it's not, but he goes on to say, and I realized that, you know, my failures in the lady department, the reason why women don't love me is because I'm not like the natural man. And when they see me as the natural caveman, they will instinctively fall in love with me. And Alex just looks at Ben. It's like, Ben, I don't know where you're going with this, but I really don't have a good feeling about this. And Ben's like, Alex, I'm here to convert you to my ways. And Alex is like, what? And he's like, are you trying to like sell me an MLM or something? Like, where are we going with this? And Ben is like, no, Alex, return to the caveman. Return to the caveman, Alex. This is what Steve has taught me. And Alex is like, Ben, are you okay? Like, if you need help, like, I can help you get. He's like, no, you need help, man. You don't understand. He said, look, I've returned to my caveman roots, but by not doing any of the showering that is in our modern day societies. You really think putting chemicals in our hair and rinsing it with fake water? Alex is like, fake water? What are you? He's like, these are details. These are details, Alex. Don't question it. It's whatever. You don't understand. The natural aroma that comes from the human body has been programmed for trillions of years. And Alex is like, I don't think humans have been around for trillions of years. And Ben's like, that's not the point. The point is the aroma, the natural musk. Sure, you can buy cheap garbage from, like, I don't know, Armani or Gucci. Their fragrance is terrible. They'll destroy the brain cells. But the true caveman odor is what Steve has taught me. And Alex is like, so are you going to, like, I don't know, spend more time outside, get more sunlight, exercise, eat like not processed stuff like the caveman too? And Alex is like, whoa, or Ben is like, whoa, Alex, chill out. Let's not go crazy. Let's not go cuckoo banana mode on me, okay, man? Okay, man, is that good? Like, let's not go crazy. I'm not dropping everything for this caveman thing, but I am embracing the natural musk. And Alex just looks at him and says, so Ben, you're not really changing anything about what you do besides not showering. That's the only difference. And Ben's like, well, no. It's not just not showering. It's embracing my natural musk, my natural odor. It will instinctively make women love me. And Alex is like, Ben, as your friend, I guess, I strongly suggest you don't do this. And Ben is like, you know what, Alex? I understand that you're a hater, and that's okay. Alex is like, I don't think I'm a hater, and Ben's like, silence. Look, you know that girl over there, Ava? You know how, the prettiest girl in our class? I've always had a crush on her, and I never had a chance. And Alex is like, well, that's also something that has not changed. And Ben's like, look, I'm going to go up to her, and you're going to see. I'm going to go up to her. I'm going to lift up my arms so my armpits are bare. Let her embrace my natural aroma, my natural odor, and you will see that she will just fall in love with me. I'm going to ask her out, and she's going to say yes. It's not even going to be her saying yes. It's going to be her subconscious breaking through to the surface and convincing her that I am the true man for her. Alex is just looking at Ben. It's like, dude, did playing Minecraft make you think this or something? And Ben's like, no, it encouraged me to remember my true caveman days. And, Alex is like, okay, that's cool, man. Like, I'm cool with that. Like, you're cool. That's good. Okay, actually, Ben, yes. Let's see it. I will, too, embrace the caveman if Ava goes out with you because you smell bad. And Ben's like, I don't smell bad. I smell natural. If that is bad to your nose, then you have a bad nose. And Ben's like, or Alex is like, all right, I got bad nose. That's not great. Ben's like, you'll see. Anyways, next day comes around, and Alex is sitting with his friends, and he explains, like, yeah, so you know Ben, right? And they're like, yeah, we know Ben. Alex is like, yeah, so he's doing something crazy. And they're like, well, I don't know what he's been doing, but he's been smelling like garbage recently. And Alex is like, it's related. You're not going to believe this. He played Minecraft, and then he believed he had to go back to the caveman era, like he had to be a man again. And that doesn't mean working out or, reading. It just means not showering for some reason. It's kind of ridiculous. And they're like, yeah, I mean, Ben has been smelling a little bit more musty, and it kind of smells like spoiled milk at this point. But I guess, I guess that makes sense now. And Alex goes on to say, yeah, and Ava? And they're like, yeah, of course we know Ava. Hottest girl in our class, beauty, right? 10 out of 10. They're like, Alex is like, yeah, so Ben is going to ask her out later today. They're like, he's going to do what? He's going to do, and Alex is like, yeah, so Ben thinks that because he smells like he does, she's going to instinctively say yes. They're like, dude, why did you say yes? Why did you allow him to go on with this? At this point, Alex's friends are like, bro, you're kind of being a bad friend of Ben. And Alex is like, dude, he was so confident. He was being so cocky. And they're like, dude, he's going to get rejected. And there's a chance he gets rejected really hard and really embarrassingly in front of everyone. Do you want that for him? And look, Alex was not happy with the way that Ben went about explaining or teaching him, quote unquote, the ways of the caveman, aka no shower, no more, right? But at the end of the day, they were still friends, and Alex knew that Ava was not just going to say no, but, she had developed a bit of an ego because she did know that she was, the most beautiful girl in the class, and she could have any guy she wanted. She was not going to be nice about letting him down. She was going to be cruel, she was going to be mean, and she was going to crush him, dude. She was going to freaking crush him. And Alex is like, all right, I got to find Ben. I need to find him before he asks Ava out. And as Alex was saying that, he hears, or he looks up, and he looks at the table across, because they're sitting at lunch. He looks at the table farthest away, and that's where Ava and her friends were sitting, and Ben was walking up to her table. Real quick, if you made it this far into the video, comment Minecraft down below. And if you want to support the channel, one of the best things you can do is binge watch the videos. And please let me know in the comment section what you're doing while watching these videos. And also, final thing, a bit of a new request I have. If you haven't already done so, if you have a TikTok account, go follow my TikTok. It is Connor Pugs. I have about 7,000 followers on there. I'm reposting clips from here. I'm just trying to reach a new audience on TikTok and hopefully bring them to the family over on here. And if you could even just following me in there and occasionally watching my videos, basically no one watches them on there, and I need a little bit of traction from you guys to help them reach new people, and I really would appreciate it. Anyways, let's get back to the story before I bore you guys. And also, if you're going to buy some gamer subs or any of their stuff, wait about a week. I have a pretty cool surprise coming for you guys. But anyways, enough of teasing that. I can't say too much right now. Anyways, right, so Alex looks over and he notices that Ben is walking to Ava's table. And he's like, oh my God, no, this can't be happening. And he goes and he starts to walk over, and the people Alex was sitting with are like, Alex, go, he's gonna do it, don't let this happen. So Alex is basically sprinting over to the table, but he doesn't get there in time, and he kind of stops. He's like, no, I'm too late. So Ben goes up to Ava and goes, ahem, Ava? And Ava looks up and is like, yes? Oh my, the next part's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Ben goes up to her and literally lifts up both of his arms. You know how after you run and you're really exhausted, you'll put your arms above your heads to make it easier to breathe, right? Or you're told to do that or whatever, right? That's basically what he did. And you could see Ava's face. Like, first you saw her nose kind of twitch as she was smelling what was going on. And then you saw her eyes water, her face crunch up. And you could almost hear, like, like, it was a bad smell. It was not good. And Alex is like, oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I'm partially responsible. Oh, my God. I'm partially responsible, man. This is on me. Anyways, Ben goes on to say, so, Ava, now that, I've let your senses, acclimate themselves, and if you have any primal urges, wink, wink, that are coming up from, the surface that are breaking through, would you like to go on a date? You know what? Let's just skip that. Would you like to be my girlfriend? And Alex is like, in his head, he's like, no, Ben, no, no. And so sure enough, Ava's just looking at him, blinking. Not even responding, not laughing or anything. She's just blinking. Because she's just so dumbfounded by did this kid just straight up ask me out? Because remember, Ava and Ben, they're not friends. They're not dating each other. They're not close like that. What? And he also smells terrible. And Ben is like, if you don't know your answer yet, maybe you'll know it in a second. And Ben literally gets closer to her and, like, pushes his armpit in her face. And she's like, ew, get away from me. And kind of pushes him back. He's like, looks over at Alex. And Ben's like, yells over, don't worry, Alex. Don't worry. Give it a second. You'll see, man. You'll see. It's crazy. You're not going to believe it. She's going to fall in love with me. And Ava looks up. Fall in love with you? I don't know who you are. I just know that you're a guy who came over here and is smelling terrible and is pushing his stinky armpits in my face. No, I will not go out with you. And, like, at this point, everybody in the cafeteria has turned their heads. Everybody has turned their heads and is looking at this because it's a scene. It's a spectacle. I mean, Ben is standing up there with his greased out armpits, and Ava, known as the prettiest girl in the class, has just demolished him in front of everyone, spectators of the entire class. At this point, there's an awkward silence because people have stopped speaking. Like, they have stopped speaking because they want to hear what's going on. And Ben is like, I see. Let me know if you change your mind. And Ava's like, no, I will never change my mind. As I said, she's a little extra, right? And Ben just walks over to Alex. And Alex looks at him. He's like, dude, I was trying to come over to tell you not to do it. Like, I'm sorry. This is my fault. Ben's like, bro, this is not your fault. She just needs time to realize. Like, Ben goes on to say that, this is totally part of the plan. He knew that there's a chance that, her, like, primal senses would be stopped by her, like, brain, but it was only a matter of time till, like, they break through. And now that he's, like, broken through to the senses through, like, essencing out the stink or whatever, that, like, eventually, within, like, the next 24 hours, she will come to her senses, maybe privately, maybe not publicly, but they will be dating. And Alex is like, dude, you can't seriously think that. And Ben is like, it's my theory. Like, I know it's to be true. You have your opinions, and I have my facts. I'm sorry, I stole that from Baskets. Greatest show ever. Rip Christine Baskets, bro. Brings a tear to my eye. Anyways, and so sure enough, next day rolls around. It has been 24 hours. And Alex just goes up to Ben. He's like, yo. Ben's like, yeah, what's up? He's like, hey, did she ask you out yet? And he's like, no, it hasn't been 24 hours. Ben looks at his phone, looks at the time. He's like, dude, it's been like 22 hours. And Ben goes on to say, see, you're proving my points. Once again, my facts destroy your opinions. And Alex is like, okay, but, I mean, she hasn't asked you out yet. And 2 hours go by. Alex goes up to him. And Ben's like, dude, I don't want to talk about it. Alex is like, that's fine, man. Like, you don't have to prove anything to me. Like, I get it. Alex is like, dude, you're good. Don't worry about it. Just please go home and take a shower. And sure enough, Ben, while he actually continued to play Minecraft, no longer believed the whole caveman philosophy of you must smell like garbage for women to like you. And that was partially due to the fact that it doesn't work, and he has firsthand experience in why it doesn't work. And yeah, him and Ava did not ever date from that point on. It was a pretty bad first impression. By the way, that was a first impression practically. I think they knew of each other beforehand, but yeah. Moral of the story is don't do that, guys.
Click on the
please.
video on screen right now. I know you'll enjoy it. Just click it, do it.
Do you guys all know that one kid in school who thinks that they're the hero in the anime, but in actuality, they just smell bad and are really weird around girls? Well, this story time is about a kid in the subscribers class who is just like that. This is a bit of a crazy one, so prepare for the cringe and let's jump right in, bro. So we're going to call the subscriber who submitted today's story Alex. So there was a kid in Alex's class who we're going to call Ben. So Ben was a very interesting kid. Very interesting, right? He went around, just to give a little bit of context, he went around telling people that he is the CEO of Riz, that he is also not just the CEO of Riz, but that his primal stink gets all the ladies, and that he is also the main character. He has said all of these things. Yeah, and in fact, he literally, so basically what happens is, he wrote on a sticky note, how it's supposed to say your name or whatever. On one of the first days of school in one of his classes, the teacher was like, oh, write your name on this, not sticky note, but name tag. And so, they're handing out name tags, and in the class, the kid literally writes, the Rizzler. Bro actually said, the Rizzler. This is the type of guy that this is the type of guy that we're dealing with right now. So one day, and this is the guy, we're going to call him Ben. So one day, Alex and Ben have a class together, and the teacher's coming around to collect the homework because, I don't know, man, one would expect that you would do the homework in a class. So sure enough, right, Alex reaches in into his backpack, pulls out the homework, and so does everyone else. But Ben, the kid, right, does not have anything out on his desk. So when the teacher walks around and is like, oh, Ben, where's your work, bro? What's up with that? Ben literally says, sorry, teacher, I was not able to do such an archaic task, aka what you call arithmetic. You just got to understand that that is significantly beneath me. I have been working on my studies as the Rizzler. And everyone in class turns around to look at him because I don't know about you, but this doesn't really happen. It's been a while since I've been in middle school. It's been quite a few years, but even in middle school, no one would do anything like this. I don't know, maybe this generation is just way beyond me, but bro, imagine being in class and when your teacher asks you, why did you not do the homework? You says, I was studying my own stuff, my own Rizology. I was studying a much more important field than mathematics. I was studying Rizology. So obviously the teacher is like, what? And he was like, yes, I was studying which first self gets the ladies the best. And the teacher is just, she's like, okay, it sounds like English. It probably is written like English, but the words that came out of this kid's mouth are just not comprehending with me. Bro literally said, I was studying which first self gets the ladies the best. So yeah, at this point, Alex looks at his friend and he's like, oh my God, bro, what the frick? What? Huh? What? What's going on? Yeah, so Alex and his friends were pretty confused. And so the teacher's like, okay, I'm just going to mark your homework as not completed. And the kid's like, Ben is like, yeah, you should. You should also complete that my Rizology is completed, though. And he's expecting everyone in the class to be like, wow, sick burn. But instead, it was just pure silence. This is guys, when I said prepare for the cringe, I meant it. So, yeah, anyways, after that class, Alex and his friends are sitting at lunch, and they're just like, dude, did you hear about Ben? So Alex and some of his friends were in the class where Ben told the teacher that he was too busy studying which first self would get him the most ladies, and he was deep in the study of Rizology, so he had no time to do mathematics or whatever she made him do, right? So some of his friends were there, but some of the friends that Alex sits with were not there. So Alex was literally in the middle of telling the story about what happened in class when Ben comes into the lunchroom and starts beelining it right to their table. And here's the thing. Alex and his friends they don't normally hang out with Ben, right? They don't normally hang out with this guy. So to see him approaching their table rapidly, I don't know, kind of made them be like, wait a minute. And one of the kids is like, isn't that Ben? And sure enough, Ben rapidly approaches their table and sits down. And everyone's like, whoa, we don't know this kid, but okay. But they're also nice gentlemen. They if someone sits at your table, you're going to be nice, you're going to be respectful, guys and girls, and everyone else who's watching this video, I ask you to do the same. Even if someone does stuff that's a little strange and a little tone deaf, it's okay to acknowledge that what they're doing is tone deaf, but be nice to them if they come and sit with you. If they try and interact with you, never be a bad person. If you have to take one thing away from this video, please take that away from the video. But anyways, Alex and his friends are like, okay. So he sits down and Ben's like, did you guys hear about my crazy teacher? Oh, Alex, you're in the class with me. Were you telling them about how crazy our teacher is? She doesn't even understand how important rizology is, bro. And Alex is like, yeah, man. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was telling them about that, and we were all in agreement. The teacher's way out of line. And Ben's like, dude, totally. That's what I was saying. So I was doing some research, and apparently being a blue dragon fox is the most attractive to women. So I think I'm going to become a blue dragon fox. Unfortunately, the fursuit is $7,000. So I might need to look at some more, cheaper strategies to become, to get the ladies. And they're all just like, bro, what are you saying right now? They're all like looking at him. So Ben's like, okay. Here's the thing, dude. You got to hear me out. I guarantee you that you can choose any lady here. I will be able to woo her. So they're all like, oh, okay, do you like someone? Because I don't know, Alex and his friends, maybe they're thinking to themselves, okay, this kid is a bit of a lost cause, bro. He's a bit of a lost cause. Fair. But maybe we can help him. Maybe we can steer him in the right direction. You know what I mean? Maybe we can push him in the right direction here. So they're like, okay, dude, do you like any of the girls? And Ben is like, well, I do have this thing for Caroline. She's quite nice. So Caroline was a girl in Alex and Ben's class, and she was nice, quiet, kept to herself, was focused on her studies, a little bit nerdy, which, that can be kind of nice. I don't know, some guys kind of like that, bro. You're on your studies, you're on your grind, you're disciplined. That's a good quality, that's all I'm saying. But anyways, right, so they're all like, yeah, dude, totally go for her. Maybe just talk to her. Yeah, Alex and his friends were crazy enough. Ben literally started laughing when they said just talk to her. Yeah, because, dude, this is a ridiculous statement. To get women to like you, have a nice, normal conversation with them. Oh, how good heavens, you're acting ridiculous today. You actually need to do hilarious charades to get their attention. Actually. Yeah, so Ben tells them, no. You guys don't understand women. They want charade. They want pizzazz. They want spark. And Ben is like, I will let you guys know if I have any updates on my quest for Caroline. So Ben gets up and he leaves. They're all looking and he gets up and walks somewhere else, right? So Alex and his friends are looking at each other and they're just like, bro, literally what is going on right now? And one of Alex's friends says look, that kid is a lost cause. We got to help him, bro. We can't let him actually spend $7,000 on a blue fox dragon fursuit to impress Caroline. Because I know for a fact that's probably not the key to her heart. Maybe it is, but I wouldn't spend $7,000 on a random guess. You know what I mean? Probably not the greatest idea. So, sure enough, they're like, okay, if Ben comes back to us tomorrow, we'll talk to him some more. We'll give him some genuine advice. We'll tell him what he should do, and hopefully, look, if he doesn't follow it, that's out of our control, right? So the next day, Ben comes over, and he sits down. He's like, guys, I have the secret formula. I basically have the Krabby Patty secret formula to Caroline's heart. So they're all like, okay, cool. What is it, bro? Because they're thinking Ben went online and maybe he went on a forum that said, I don't know, have a conversation with her, speak to her like a normal person, present your shower would be cool, smell nice, present yourself well, be a lot of normal things, right? It's not hard, but it's also pretty straightforward. You just need to do it. All these little gimmicks and charades and little things will not actually get you to the end of the goal, right? But unfortunately, actually, I'm going to let you guys guess. So I'm going to give you a multiple choice question. So Ben came the next day to sit down at the table and talk to Alex and his friends. What do you think Ben has come? Because he says he knows the secret to Caroline's heart. He says he knows the secret sauce. So either answer A in the comment, and pause the video and answer one of these two. And don't cheat, right? Answer A. Ben says that he knows that he needs to talk to her. He needs to have a human-to-human conversation, and that he needs to genuinely be present himself, be a good person, smell good, talk to her, and just try and have a connection with her. And that's how he's going to get to her heart. Or B, the most best answer ever, right? What Ben is actually going to do is that he is going to tell her that he is Light Yagami from Death Note, the anime, and that he says that he is going to write her name in his Death Note book if she doesn't go out with him. Yeah, guys, if you guessed A, look, God bless your heart, bro. You have a good heart. You think the best of people, but you're wrong. And if you guessed B, then maybe you're a bit more cynical like me, and unfortunately, you're correct. Yeah, so sure enough, Ben sits down. He's like, guys, boys, you got to hear me out on this. So basically, I'm going to go up to Caroline, and I'm going to explain to her that the anime Death Note is actually real, and that I am Light Yagami from Death Note. And that if she doesn't go out with me, I will write her name in her Death Note, and she will die in the next 45 minutes. And they're all like, dude, no. Okay, so a little bit of context, because I'm sure a handful of you guys have not seen Death Note. Very popular anime. I'm not an anime person personally, but that is one show I've watched all the way through and thoroughly enjoy. To give a little premise without spoiling anything, basically this book falls from the sky, and if you write someone's name in the book, they will die by whatever you say that they die by. So it's oh, so-and-so's gonna die at what time, by what, right? And Light Yagami is the main character, protagonist and villain, kind of, I don't know, it depends on your perspective or whatever. It's a very good show. And Light Yagami has access to the book, and he'll write people's names in it, and they will die. So basically, what this kid is saying is he's going to go up to Caroline, tell her that this anime that she may or may not know about in the first place is actually real, and then tell her that he, in fact, is a fictional character from an anime show, and that if she does not go out on a date with her, that he will write her name in a fictional book, and she will die. Yeah, because, look, threatening women to go on dates with you is the best idea. Satire. That's sarcasm. Please, guys, if you take one thing away from my video, never do anything. If the words threaten to get what you want come out of your mouth, you're probably going in the wrong direction, bro. If we're just keeping it $1.50 right now, you're probably going in the wrong direction. Maybe talk to her. Maybe connect with her. Don't pretend to be a main character in an anime and say you're going to literally murk her if she doesn't go out with you, bro. What? So yeah, understandably, Alex and his friends had a pretty similar reaction to my reaction and probably your reaction to this information. Because saying that you're in the Death Note, secret word of the day is note, so comment that down below like a notebook. Trying to make the secret words a little bit more interesting. And also, you should listen to this on Spotify if you're a Spotify user. The official link is down below in the pinned comment. And if you are a Spotify listener, please rate the podcast 5 stars. I would appreciate it. Anyways, so yeah, sure enough, Alex and his friends are like, dude, whatever you do literally anything besides that. And every single one of Alex's kids, Alex and his friends went a little hard. They kind of ripped to Ben, right? They kind of ripped into him a little bit. Yeah, so they were going kind of hard, which maybe made him a bit defensive. But they were basically saying, dude, that is the worst idea ever. One, you're not going to convince her that this anime show that she may or may not know is real or may or may not know about is actually real. And if somehow you convince her that, which you're not, you also now have to convince her that you're the main character. And finally, the whole point of you convincing her that is so that you can threaten her into going out with you. That is literally the worst idea I've ever heard. So here's the thing. Maybe Alex and his friends should have chilled out a little bit, which I think I would have gone ballistic too. I do not blame them. However, Ben did not take it well. He was like, you guys are haters. You all want to date Caroline and you don't want me to win, like blah, 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 stuff like that. You guys just are full of hate. You don't understand. You want to bring me down. I know what's actually going on here. you guys all think Caroline's super hot and you want to go out with her. And Alex is like, dude, I have a girlfriend. I'm trying to actually help you out here. And Ben gets up and he's like, you know what? You'll see. Yeah, famous last words from Ben. So basically, this escalates pretty bad. So strap in. If you're standing up, maybe sit down. I don't know, man. So what happens is Ben, he goes up to Caroline, the girl that he's interested in. And here's the thing. This all goes down when Alex is in class. So Alex is lucky enough, or not lucky, depending on your perspective, to witness all of this happen. So Caroline sits in the back of the class, even though it's normally like the idea that the kids who try really hard sit in the front of the class. I always like sitting in the back of the class, but I also do sweat a little bit, so it's not always true, right? So Caroline sits in the way back of the class, and Ben normally sits in the middle, but he kind of bounces around, but he sits right next to Caroline. And Alex overhears the conversation, which I said, prepare for the cringe, right? So Ben is like, yo, Caroline, do you know the show Death Note? And the thing is, Caroline actually did know the show Death Note. So she's like, yeah, I actually finished that this summer. I really liked it. Here's the thing, bro. He had a chance. Bro, Ben had a chance right here because Ben went up to her and said, do you know the show Death Note? She said yes. She said yes, bro. He literally could have been like, me too. This is my favorite character. What's your favorite character? What other shows do you like? Do you like movies? What's your favorite movie? Would you want to see this movie? Do you want to see this movie with me? Bam, I just gave you infinite riz right there. You're welcome. That is what Ben should have done, but he didn't. He went on with his idiotic plan and it blew up in his face. He had a chance, bro. Anyways, so she said yes. I'm getting worked up because he fumbled so bad. And also consequences more than fumbling, but you'll see. Anyways, I'm getting myself out of breath. But anyways, Ben goes on to say, did you know that Death Note is actually based on a true story? And I mean, they're in 6th grade, so I don't know, maybe he thought she'd believe it. But Caroline's like, yeah, I don't really think that's true because Caroline's a pretty smart girl, right? And Ben's like, no, dude, trust me. And she's like, okay. She doesn't actually believe him, but she doesn't want to fight a kid on if a fictional TV show is real or not. She even knows that's not worth her time. Yeah, so sure enough, she's like, okay, whatever. And Ben like looks around pretending to be all secretive and he's like, don't tell anyone this, but I'm actually Light Yagami. Light is the main character in Death Note, for you guys who don't know. So Ben really thinks that he is like convincing her and that this is maximum Riz moment for him. Because he is the self-proclaimed Riz god, by the way. And she looks at him, she's like, okay, dude. So yeah, he's completely smashed his opportunities at this point because he's being really weird. But he's about to be even more weird. And so basically from this point on, Ben's like, do you want to go out on a date with me? And look, Caroline maybe would have gone on a date with him if he started the conversation and led it in a good direction. Not trying to convince her that he is from a fictional TV show and it's real, right? Not the greatest way. You have to be looking like a 12 out of 10 to pull that off after such abominable riz. You know, that's all I'm trying to say. And she's like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to date anyone right now. So probably Cap, but maybe true, but probably Cap, just trying to spare his feelings because she's a nice, respectable girl, right? Trying to be nice. She doesn't have to be, but she is nice. And that's when Ben drops the bomb. He's like, so since I'm Light Yagami, if you don't go out on a date with me, I'm going to write your name in my Death Note and you're going to pass away. Dude, this is like, there's abominable Riz. There's terrible Riz. This is like Mariana Trench level Riz, bro. This is negative infinity. This is the limit to negative infinity, bro. What? Huh? And when Alex heard this, like Alex knew how bad it was, but when he actually heard the kids say it, he's like, oh God, that sounds even worse in action. Like in theory, it was terrible. In practice, it was terrible +1. Like it somehow got even worse. And Caroline's like, okay. So here's the thing. Caroline took this seriously. She thought this was really weird. Which, respect to her, because like a weird kid says something weird like this, probably good to take it seriously. So basically what happens is Caroline goes to the principal, explains everything that happened. And here's the thing. Even though Ben, the weird kid, yeah, he said like, oh, I will murk, like I'm a fictional television show. I'm a fictional character from a fictional television show, and I will write your name in a fictional book, and you will die if all that is true, which it's not. Haha, you should go on a date with me. That's still technically a threat, right? Even though it's kind of definitely buried in weird nuance because it's not real and he said it could be perceived as a joke, that's still a threat, which is not okay, guys. Even if you know someone well, even if it's obviously not really a threat, you can't threaten anyone. Like, if you have to take another thing away from this video, even if it's a joke, people have to take this stuff really seriously because some people who aren't really right in the head, you know, if they say this stuff, they might actually follow through. Just a little serious note, never say anything like this. Please don't be like this kid. As you'll see, because the next day, Alex is walking in the hallway, and Ben is at his locker or whatever. And these two school security guards come up to him, like, take his backpack off of him. One of the school security guards says, "You're coming with me." And the other one starts searching his backpack. Yeah, so basically what happened is the school took this very seriously. Even though this was a threat based on a fictional television show, they took it very seriously. Ben was suspended for an entire week, and a full-on investigation was launched into the situation.